Yes, hi, hello, welcome back to Gooncast. Hey, I actually have energy today and I don't hate everything. Yay!
I'm jealous.
Boy.
Also, here's Mike.
Hey, yeah. It's great to be here again. What's up, guys? My beloved goons. It's Michael. I'm a musician and horror and fantasy writer. I'm here today to talk about some things I actually enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll never happen again.
Wait, you enjoyed this?
Mike on for good stuff.
All right, we got to cancel the episode.
It was weird, yeah.
That's
very alternate reality. And what's up? It's Cat, aka the Attack Cat again. Dialogue designer by day, writer / horror artist by night, and also my buddy Lee.
You know, it's your boy Lee Alder, the Valley Jester. I am tired and have zero energy and hate everything.
I think James vampired it out of both of us.
Oh no, I was lying.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I also didn't even. Yeah, hi, I'm James Saber 0307. I'm a compulsive liar. I just wanted to do a slightly more upended intro after being called out for half-assing it last time.
God, who called you out? Us?
Well, yeah.
Was it us?
Yeah. Immediately after I gave the intro.
You. Us, the sandbaggers?
It was like, we can tell just James's slow descent into insanity over the course of every episode. And,
wait, was that the Resident Evil one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, makes sense.
Speaking of which, Struggler was supposed to be on that. Mike was supposed to be on that, and he lucked the fuck out and got stuff that he likes instead.
That's right. Wait, but you still watched it anyway, right?
I didn't finish it, but I watched it.
Well,
you missed out on the Olive Garden promotion.
Oh my god.
But hey, It doesn't matter, folks. For those not keeping up with the news, it has not been renewed for second season. Resident Evil Netflix has been canceled. We win! We win!
Yeah, I mean, none of us are yaying that people are out of jobs or anything like that, but, it's purely this show did not deserve a second season. Y'all should not have written it with the assumption that you were getting a second season.
Word.
Come on.
Preach.
Come on.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, we're
let's
here.
talk about some good stuff.
But first, on a new edition of No, Lee, don't put that in your body. I have another revolting energy drink that I'm going to have.
Oh my god! Tell us what it is, Lee.
So on this new segment of the podcast, No, Lee, don't put that in your body. We started it on a Back to Ghoul stream where I had C4 Performance Energy Skittles flavor.
What the fuck?
It tasted like snorting pre-workout. It was pretty great. So today,
did you then run through a wall?
No, we played Godfather.
Yeah,
I got good and high on pre-workout and then met Dog Hitler.
Oh my god.
So
my god!
today,
By the way, happy 1 month anniversary to Dog Hitler.
Happy
1 month
anniversary, Dog Hitler.
No, audience.
No
you can't
context.
have context.
Yeah, no context.
Look, you want context? Go to my other YouTube channel. The VOD's up already. Watch the VOD, please.
Yeah,
I want more attention.
It's pretty fantastic.
All right, so what I have here in my hands is Ghost Energy.
Mm-hmm.
It is a neon yellow can with an angry-looking little ghost, little chibi ghost on it.
Okay.
And this is Sour Patch Kids flavor.
Oh, Jesus.
Dude.
Oh God! What is with energy drinks, candy flavors?
Yeah, so let's see here. Legendary Energy, Epic Focus. Oh, this is like game fuel.
Epic Focus.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get this bad boy open.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. It smells like. Oh God! It smells like Morbius.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Some exsanguinated blood. And oh God.
Dang.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, okay. It tastes like when you'd go to the ice cream truck and you'd get the little the foot-shaped lollipop that you dip into the crushed sour powder.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Just take the powder and add in a little dash of water and mix it into a sludge and then drink it. And then
I'm just sitting here with my Elden Ring G Fuel, man.
Oh, I've got some of that in the kitchen, but I felt like tormenting myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rate this a God help me out of 10.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of that,
Holy
I just remembered that there was a Morbius G Fuel, and I'm glad I never ordered that.
Oh my god. A Morbius G Fuel.
Yeah, called Plasma.
I mean, okay, here's the thing.
Does it taste like
I
Jared Leto's
I
balls?
feel like I would pay not good money, but I'd pay good amount of time for my eyeballs to be on a screen to watch Lee like a fine wine sommelier describe to us the experience, like actually do like an energy drink tasting channel.
Oh God.
I would
be down for that too. Yeah.
I would pay good eyeball money for that.
Yeah, same.
bullshit.
Yeah.
But I have to, but it'd be completely dignified. Like I'm in the smoker's jacket with
yeah,
the
exactly.
monocle.
Come on,
and
come on.
you actually have like a full stemmed like wine glass full of the stuff.
Dude.
And
Exactly.
you do the like sniff and like swish it in your mouth and like yeah, no, you got full production values. I'm here for this.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you come in.
Yeah,
Welcome
yeah.
to No Lee. Don't drink that.
Holy shit.
This
Oh,
might
geez.
have to be a thing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Listen.
Definitely.
So, what did we watch this week?
Okay.
Stuff.
Wow. Yeah, lots of stuff.
Well,
But
one is a recent hot button, and one is something that we it's been out for a little bit, but we've
it's kind of recent hot button
Yeah,
too, I
it's
guess.
just- yeah, it's
In
pretty
some
recent.
every time a
circles.
new season drops. Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
most recent season dropped this year and ended in June, so it's recent enough.
Well, there you go.
Hmm.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So, but I think we're gonna kick this off with the more hot button one. I think, even though I think maybe we're perhaps. Although I haven't seen that many folks reviewing it or talking about it outside of like, yeah, it's really good. Go see it.
Yeah.
You know, outside of Twitter, basically. So we're talking about Prey.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it already, I think it's streaming on Hulu.
It's Hulu's biggest debut ever.
Yeah, which yeah.
That's good news.
I would also we did not watch it this way. But I went back and I caught a little bit of it. I haven't actually rewatched it yet with my husband, but I'm planning to. I watched a little bit of the Comanche language dub.
Oh fuck. Yeah.
And I strongly recommend it. I think I had a lot of people who I was talking to about it where they were saying that it was a little bit awkward at first because it is a dub, so the mouth movements don't match up. But hearing the language within the time period and who the characters are and everything, it just feels better.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, genuinely, in my mind, from what I saw, I was like, I can get over the lip flap not matching up, but I do kind of just wish that this had just been filmed from the get-go in the Comanche language. I think that would have been a really good.
That would have been dope.
I get it. I get it that, most
Commerciality and all
yeah,
that.
exactly. Most Hollywood films are filmed in English, and honestly, most films aren't even redubbed in any, Native American languages. So this is a huge step anyway. I think I read somewhere that the last time this was done was a Pixar movie, I think. I want to say Finding Nemo or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it was I think it was Navajo. It was redubbed in. So yeah, obviously, do more of this, Hollywood. Especially
Take
if you're
chances.
especially if you're gonna tell these kind of stories, which you
Agreed.
should, because and we should just get into it. But holy shit, y'all, Prey was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. Yeah. I think that maybe a cool place to start on a review of Prey, is especially because Kat, you were saying that this movie with a dub of the correct speaking, like may have been, more true to a form, like more authentic, and that brings me to a point that I feel like is one of Prey's strongest assets, something that I think is really cool for something that could be very cool for the series going forward, and that is this movie was a period piece. I don't believe that this has been done in the series before this. All of the stories take place in some near future, or some whole other planet, whatever. But it definitely was a refreshing, very, very cool vibe from the very beginning to see this familiar Predator formula go down in like a new setting,
Yeah, totally
I
agree.
definitely was like already, I guess that set me up to have some hope for it from the very beginning, and it definitely paid off in my humble opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This
totally
is one of
agree.
those movies that while we were building up to it, I was thinking, you know what? I got to be careful because I'm letting myself get optimistic,
Yeah,
and I can feel like I'm going to be crushed.
yeah.
And I dodged a bullet somehow. Usually that sense never fails me, but no. Prey was absolutely fantastic, and it was due in large part to these risks that it took,
Yeah.
making it a period piece. I mean, as soon as the bottom third appears to let us know our location and date, like we started immediately joking, like, oh man, there's going to be some white settlers that are going to get fucked up. Like, it's going to be the British, and then James with confidence. It's
James,
the French.
It's French fur trappers. And we were like,
French fur trappers.
And then they started to hint at like I think there were some skinned carcasses around, and we were like, fucking James, come on, man.
Called it.
No.
I guess the thing that kind of got some steam behind this movie coming out was the idea that initially it was the vision of the writer to not package it as a Predator film.
Yeah.
So
it was supposed to be advertised as its own complete standalone thing from what I've read. And then
that's interesting.
That bubble initially got burst either due to a leak or a pre-announcement during like the Disney acquisition of Fox, because apparently this from what I've read, this movie was in development before even The Predator came out, or maybe it was like in development since like even before The Predator like was in development. I don't know, but at some point in like a couple years ago, it got leaked that there was a new Predator movie set in like the 1700s, starring a Native American cast. And I think the working title was called Skulls or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Dan Trachtenberg, who was the writer-director, from what I've heard and from what I've read, still kind of wanted to market it as a completely unrelated movie, at least until like the week before it was about to come out. And I would guess that part of that stemmed from his experience on 12 Cloverfield Lane, because if I recall
Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, that movie was announced as something completely on its own, and then the week before it came out, they were like, "By the way, this is a Cloverfield movie," and everybody lost their shit.
All right. So, do each of you think that this movie being advertised as not a part of the Predator franchise would have been a good move purely for advertising, or what?
It would not have been a good move for advertisement and commerciality. The name and the character equals money.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Yeah,
but I cannot imagine the level of shit I would have lost if I threw the dice on like, I heard this weird like, Native American survival movie is pretty fucking cool, and then like 30 minutes in with no foreshadowing, just suddenly fucking Predator shows up fighting a bear. I would have been like, all right, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, my thing is I'm very torn because there were so many movements or so many moments while we were watching the movie where I thought, oh man, if I didn't know this was Predator, and you were just getting these little hints of like, something moving around, something watching, like something moving through the sky. Like you're just like, oh, what the hell is going on here? The problem is, yeah, like I do feel like Predator, the name puts butts in seats, right? Like, or, butts in their own couches, as it were now. I did see, I forget what year it was. I think it was 2018. I did see that Predator movie, which was awful. But I saw it based on name alone, right? So I was going to see this one probably regardless of how good it was, and then it had the added bonus of actually being really, really good.
The 2018 one had the advantage of weaponized autism.
Oh yeah, it sure did.
I'm sort of torn as well, because I definitely think that, obviously, like the fact that they announced that it's a Predator movie in advance got more people to want to tune into it. But I was thinking about like movies that came out as like secret sequels or whatever, and after a while, I remembered the amount of buzz that happened after Split released in theaters, when everybody realized, oh shit, this is a sequel to Unbreakable.
Yeah,
and I would love to see that with something like this. I mean, granted, I haven't seen Split, so I don't know if that was a good movie or not. I know some people liked it, and I know
it was alright.
Glass is supposed to be not very good.
No, Glass was bad. It was like middling. Like it was.
Agreed.
Yeah, honestly, because I was trying to think of like another movie that has successfully done the like kept it hidden, and the only thing I could think of, it was not even a real example, was just that like I feel like I would have been hearing so much buzz after it released that it might have just spoiled it for me anyway.
Yeah, that probably would have happened.
Yeah, I feel like it would have just been like either you get people like, tittering and just being like, "Ooh, you got to see this movie," but like don't look anything up about it. Right. Or like where it's just like, okay, well, there's some surprise in there, and then you're kind of just like waiting for the surprise, and it's like, oh, it's a secret Predator movie. I feel like I would not have been as blown away by a secret Predator movie. I was not blown away by the Unbreakable reveal for Split, by the way. Probably just because it was just like outside of James McAvoy's performance, and is the main girl Anya Taylor-Joy? No, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
I think it is.
Is it? I was like, my brain says yes, but then
Anya Taylor-Joy was in Split. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, like, other than their performances being good, it's like, it's a movie. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as the hidden sequel or like hidden, same universe thing, I'm only thinking of two, and one is kind of like a hilarious backpedal, because I think of the Thing from 2011 where it was marketed as a reboot of the Thing from the 80s, and it wound up being the prequel of the Norwegian Team.
So what is the other example you have, Lee?
Oh, the time Ridley Scott backpedaled on Prometheus.
Oh God, okay.
When he's like, this movie is paying homage to my other movie universe, but it is not an Alien prequel. And everybody watched it and said, Ridley, shut the fuck up. Yeah. This is an Alien prequel. Yeah, and he's like, but it's my movie. Ridley, you senile old bastard. Shut up. This is an Alien prequel. And he went, fine, it's an Alien prequel.
Oh my God. All right, so with that in mind then, other than backpedaling, has there been a franchise movie that has been like kept secret until post-release, where it's been like, I
don't know.
Not that I can think of.
And not, because I would say Split is more of a like, because the only time it becomes relevant that it's in the Unbreakable universe is in a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, why it extra doesn't matter to me, where I'm just like, yeah, okay. Or it might not, I don't remember if it's a post-credit scene or just like the final scene of the movie, but yeah, either way, it's just like the very end has that twist, and you're just kind of like, okay, it's just an M. Night Shyamalan twist. But yeah, I can't think of one, so I'm happier, I think, that this was announced as, even though, God, it would have been cool.
It's not exactly what we're thinking of, but I'll just take this moment to remind everybody that Machete takes place in the Spy Kids universe.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just remind everybody of that.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That's a good
Uncle
point.
Machete.
That's a good point. So best example is Machete.
It's Machete.
Oh boy. Wow. Fantastic.
So I guess
let's
wants to give us a rundown of like, what happens, basically.
I can, because girl power.
I want you to go for it.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Yeah, go ahead, Kat.
Because girl power. All right. So,
Oh,
the
I'll get
movie. yes, we will get there.
I got a message for some people out there.
Yeah, I feel like I don't get a lot of opportunities to do these recaps because I feel like I usually get too distracted. But yeah, let's go for it. So, basically, the film opens with our protagonist, who is a young Comanche woman named Naru, I believe is how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mostly remember that because she shares a name with my first anime waifu.
Ah, I see. An important, an important distinction to be made. Then
it's very important.
But so Naru
is Prey part of the Lavina universe?
No, god damn it, no. So Naru is, a young lady in her tribe. She's like coming of age. Her older brother is this really badass warrior, and it's very clear that she looks up to him a lot. And she too wants to prove herself as a badass warrior. And of course, all of the dudes in her tribe, and even I think it's her grandmother, maybe, or one of the older women in the tribe even are like, no, you're a lady, you should go out and pick berries and heal the men when they come in and from injured from whatever. But no, she really wants to go prove herself, and the way they prove themselves is based on this it's coming of age sort of like hunt where they hunt a predator, basically, not the actual alien. They hunt something that hunts them back. They hunt intelligent prey, which
exactly.
the parallels, right?
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, so it's really awesome. So they all end up going after this mountain lion. I think this will kind of overlap a little bit with what Lee wants to say to all the people. I'm assuming it's all the people calling her a Mary Sue and all of that. But the film takes kind of goes to great lengths to show that she's not the most capable warrior. She's training with her axe all the time. But she's not she's not that strong. She's not that capable in combat. But what she is she's very, very observant.
Yes.
And she's a quick learner.
Mm-hmm.
And so a big, basically she joins the guys with her hunting dog, whose name I forget also.
But he's a good boy.
She, I think. She is best boy. And, slight side story, that dog was cast apparently because it was specifically the breed that would have been the breed that existed at the time that would have been owned by Comanche warriors.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah. So the dog had no professional Hollywood training. So it was not an acting dog. It was and so apparently it was kind of a nightmare on set, and everybody was saying that everybody cheered basically when we got a good take with her, because she was just she was so happy to be there that she was just completely unprofessional.
Just working with Andy Dick.
But yeah, she's the best. She's one of the best parts of the movie, and also, if anyone's worried, no, the dog does not die. So,
You said
see this movie. I will spoil people on that. The dog does not die.
You said that during the film, and I had a very real sigh of relief.
Yes. That was the only thing I did was I went on the doesthedogdie.com website, and I was like, all right, does this dog die? No. Okay, good.
All right, I can enjoy the movie now.
Yeah,
exactly.
Naru joins the boys in hunting down this mountain lion. She ends up setting up this really elaborate trap for it, and it almost works. But it doesn't, and it it gets one of the other ones killed, and essentially she has to kind of run back to the tribe with her tail between her legs, right? She fails essentially. But her brother is able to kill it, basically. And later in the film, he comments on the fact that her plan actually did work. It was just that was how he was able to kill it, was a cooperative effort essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about the time that our boy, what is the name of the predator alien species? The Yautja. Our Yautja boy lands And actually, his ship coming in is what Naru takes as her sign that to prove herself.
Yeah, an omen of the Thunderbird.
Exactly,
Yes,
which was like
yes.
such a cool touch. So cool.
Yeah, it was very, very dope. So he's been going around hunting predators, hunting animals that are hunting other animals. Right, like so we have a scene of him going after a coyote. I think we have a scene of him going after
he kills the snake.
His light lunch.
Basically, this is to establish our antagonist's honor system, and that gets built up a little bit later when Naru and her dog get attacked by a bear, and they're getting chased by this bear, and that is when we get our big reveal of our boy to our main character.
Yep.
Right?
The fucking hypest intro sequence in so long.
It is
lost it.
It is amazing. It is really, really fucking cool.
I lost it too there for a second. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yep. All right, so bear, Naru runs away. Tribesmen get murdered. Then
Wait. You can't just gloss over the best scene in the movie with such a
Listen, all right.
This intergalactic bounty hunter suplexes a bear.
Listen, I've been repeating this scene. I've been describing this scene 4 times now.
I have been falling for 30 minutes.
Dude.
Exactly. Thank you, Discord. Yes. All right.
Yeah, good. Please, Kat, go on.
Should I reiterate the bear scene?
No, it's fine. It's fine. The people know now. Now the people know.
Okay.
That's all we wanted to know is that Predator suplexes a bear.
Yeah, he fucking suplexes a bear. It's awesome. But then
bathes in its blood.
Yep. She runs from it. It pursues her. She runs into a group of her own tribesmen who are more accomplished hunters than she, but they get fucking wrecked by this thing because of course they do. It's Predator, right?
Yeah.
She, I believe, gets caught in a bear trap or a foot like a foot trap, like a snare. A snare. And that's when she figures out that if you're trapped, Predator is like, well, that's not very fucking sporting.
I don't want anything to do with this shit.
You.
Yeah, I want to hang on that point for a second because the Yautja might be my favorite movie monster of all time.
Dude, let's talk about it.
And their code of ethics is a huge part of that. Like, their character design is great. You know, them being these technological bounty hunters is fucking great.
Yeah.
The fact that part of their thing is they give you a size up. They check you out first. They see what you're holding, and they're like, "Man, you ain't even worth it," and they just leave. Like, that's the coldest intergalactic shit possible.
Definitely,
he's gotta scope you out for a minute, and if he sees like some fully automatic weapons and like some Arnold-sized biceps, he just like starts licking his mandibles underneath the mask, going like, yeah, I could get in on some of this action. But he sees poor Naru just snared up in the trap, and he's like, man, that could have been fun.
Yeah.
So you ain't even worth it. Get out of my sight.
Later.
Yeah,
and then he walks away and Guile's theme song plays. Da, 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 da,
Which,
da, da, da.
not to further detract from the summary, but I did want to ask because this was something that I saw a couple of people bring up as like criticism of the film, and I thought,
okay, let's go.
I thought that doesn't make any sense because I'm pretty sure, or not criticism of the film, but criticism of the franchise. And I was like, I'm pretty sure this criticism is already answered for in the universe.
Okay.
Do the Yautja?
Yautja.
Do the Yautja like match the technology level of the creatures they're fighting?
Never.
They do not. No.
Yeah, they
no.
Okay. because a lot of the criticism I'm seeing is like, why is this guy's ship less advanced than?
Because it's 300 years earlier.
Others.
It's 300 years earlier.
But they're still spacefaring aliens. So
yeah. So
in my mind, I thought it just made sense because, like, you know, he fucking suplexed the bear, right? The bear does not have guns or lasers or any of that shit. He's fighting it like man to man, basically, right? Like
exactly. It's all about the sport, you know?
Yeah. So my thought is that, like, yeah, if you come in with like all of your fucking like lasers and like, I'm sure they have like things that they could just nuke from orbit.
They definitely do.
They're not gonna, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense for them to, because it's
they
just
want
like
the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah. So that's because one of the criticisms I was seeing is like, oh, he keeps like bringing out new tech to like counter things, and it's like, well, yes, because they're proving themselves to be worth more effort on his part.
Yeah, that's
like,
what they do in every single movie. Like, even the Predator movies I don't like. They do that in every single Predator movie, where it's like they bring out new tech when they need new tech. Like,
and usually, like, it's usually
people were saying to the level of like, oh, this Predator is so much less advanced, it doesn't make sense for a spacefaring race. But it's like,
I disagree with that.
It
makes sense, and it's like it's a prequel, so it's like the tech is like prototype of what we've seen 300 years later. And the other thing too, which a lot of people keep glossing over in like the criticism and whatnot, is it's very fucking evident that this is a fucking Youngblood. It is a novice baby fucking Predator who, like, we see him fumble and get frustrated constantly. Like, everybody who keeps saying, like, outside of the fact that the Naru is a very observant character and that's why she survives, this Predator gets fucked up constantly by almost everything it tries to fucking hunt.
By a wild dog.
By a wild dog, by the fucking French fur trappers, by everybody. Like, he's
not very good at his job.
No. And then, like the other thing, too, is, like, at the end of the movie, like just to quickly flash forward, right? I think even Red Letter Media brought this up, maybe, or somebody else brought it up, I've seen. Where it's like, oh, you know, why is he making all these mistakes in the final showdown? It's like, bro, he was shot in the back of the head. He's got a bullet lodged in his brain. How would you function with a fucking lodged shit in your goddamn head? Like, you're already a novice, and now
he's brash.
Critically wounded.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like the antagonist here, his great weakness is the fact that he thinks he's much better than he is.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, and there's a scene that once Kat gets there in the summary, I'll pinpoint it. There is the exact moment when you can pinpoint that this Predator is like outside of his capabilities. There's a moment where it's like, oh, this guy can't actually like hack it that well.
Yeah. So back to the summary. So Naru is trapped, and while she's trapped, she gets captured by Frenchmen, by the French. So there's some French fur trappers out here, and they take her back to. They've got her like caged up. They've got a guy that can speak Comanche who's talking to her, who's like translating a little bit for her. And they also managed to capture her brother. And so the pair of them sort of devise this plan to, like, you know, they know predators around. They know he's going to come get them. So I don't remember if there's like a specific reason he's coming to get them, but either way, this is when her older brother reveals that, like, oh, the whole reason I was able to get that awesome like mountain lion kill is because you weakened it. Right? Like, your efforts actually do matter in this case, and we have to work together to take down something that's bigger than both of us, right? It's like, oh, the theme of the movie, but yeah, so then I believe Predator just like swoops down on this camp, and her and her brother are able.
They use Naru and Tabe as bait to drag him out of hiding. They tie them to a tree.
Yeah,
that's right.
Ambush him.
But then like both of them are like, this isn't gonna work. This, like, he's going to go after them instead, so we can use that as our means of escape. And they do, and there's this fucking awesome fight scene where, like, you know, Predator's using a lot more of his tech, which again gets into the like, oh, why did he do that? But it's like, because it's sporting now. Now it's a thing. Although I will say, I did feel like a couple of the things he used, I was like, I don't know if that's sporting, buddy. Like,
yeah, he's pissed off. He's getting damaged. I cut him some slack.
kills. Let's put it that way.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, but let's
like
not.
Young blood. He's all pissed. He's all pissed
Yeah,
and
he's getting pissy.
Yeah.
Let's not lose sight of the fact that he's got the greatest weapon that a Predator's ever brought to a fight, a fucking shield.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This was a complete first, and it just looked so cool. It was used so well.
It was so this and Naru using throwing axes.
Yeah.
Direct inspirations from God of War 2018.
I think I remember you saying that during the watch, and that definitely makes sense.
The director,
Used very well.
The director confirmed it on like Twitter or something.
So cool.
Yeah,
wow.
like he was just like, "Yep, that was the inspiration." And it's like,
So
"Oh, that's awesome."
That's awesome.
Yeah, very very cool visually. And then there's a moment where they kind of like lure it back to the camp a little bit, and we get some really great payoffs for earlier setups. Namely, she uses this like herb, this like healing ointment herb that like lowers the guy's body temperature.
Mm-hmm.
And which, you know, obviously as fans of the franchise, we all know that that's how you get around their infrared, right? So it's like, okay, that works. And then also, there was another really good setup and payoff there.
That's the whole thing of this movie is there's so much fucking setup and payoff.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's the first case where the human's weapon against the Predator is their intelligence.
Yes.
As
Yes.
it should be. Yeah.
Naru is brilliant both as a tactician and a medicine woman.
Yeah.
And she's able to like deconstruct the Predator's tactics and equipment loadout to like devise her plan.
I'm sorry. The second payoff I'm thinking of actually happens later. But
oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. But we'll keep going. So her brother in this instance ends up sacrificing himself that she can get away.
Okay. This is the scene I was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Tabe is able to stand up against the feral Predator and beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Tabe is ducking and diving, whipping his ass.
Yeah, he really holds his own against this guy. It's really awesome.
And the only way the Yautja is able to defeat him is by being dishonorable and becoming invisible in the middle of battle and backstabbing him.
Yep.
The Predator is shown to be out of his
absolutely out of his depth. Yeah,
he's out of his element. He was about to get his ass kicked by the Hunt, and he decided to be dishonorable.
And do you know if he were to, I guess, spoilers, but if he were to survive this hunt and like go back and he's having a drink, like with his boys, he would definitely leave that part out, you know?
No. The elders are like watching on a camera on his mask, and like as soon as he gets on the ship, the elder just starts slapping the shit out of him.
It's like the fuck is this shit?
You're walking back to the planet.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
Yeah, absolutely. But so because of her brother's sacrifice, she's able to get away. I believe she goes back and finds one of the Frenchmen,
the translator,
and I believe that's where she gets the pistol.
Raphael's pistol,
Yes, which is a tie-in to something in the franchise, which I don't know, so I will ignore it for now.
It is a ham-fisted. It's funny because the writer. It's from a comic book. The pistol first shows up at the end of Predator 2 as a gift to Danny Glover. Kind of just as like a little thing saying, hey, look how long we've been around doing cool shit.
Yeah.
And there is a comic where a Predator fights a French duelist named Raphael. And the Predator defeats him, but had such a deep honor for him that he buried Raphael as like funeral rites. He gave him a burial and left one of his weapons at the grave and took Raphael's pistol as a trade.
So cool.
And which is like, that is badass. And then the writer for this is like, yeah, I mean, that's whatever and all, but this is how I'm doing the pistol thing.
Yeah, it's the movies, both even Aliens and Predator, and other franchises too. It's like whenever there's like something gets addressed in the comics, like the filmmakers like, I don't want to be beholden to that shit, so they just
just
throw it out.
There's
so many like expanded universe things.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine.
Although it does raise some questions. Who knows if we'll ever get like a sequel to this, but it does potentially imply, because we know the Predators get that fucking pistol, that the Predators show up and fucking murk that entire fucking tribe.
Well,
so we'll have to wait and see.
Or they showed up in game recognized game, like they showed up and they were like, "Oh, you killed our boy."
Yeah.
All right, not bad.
Give us something.
Or like the pistol could have gotten somewhere else in 300 years, right?
Yeah, there's all sorts of potential.
There's a lot of other things can happen to.
We'll have to see.
Imperialism.
Well, unless I get what I want, and I want 300 Spartans versus a Predator.
Dude.
There you go.
All right, real fast. Like, I just want to say, like, this is the reason that I love that this was a period piece. Like, this is there's like such a cool, like, the fact that a Predator story could take place at any point in human history is just like so cool. And I love that they took this chance, because now we could have a Predator and then like the Spartans, or like Predator and the Samurai, or like Predator and whatever, like
it opens up a whole lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I'm just very excited about it.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Yeah, that would
Predator
be
Crusades.
Dude, it'd be so cool.
It'd be cool. I'd fuck with Predator with swords. That sounds awesome.
Predator versus like a Knight Templar.
Dude,
Predator
who's convinced he's a demon.
Oh my god!
Predator versus
Oh my god!
Christ! Oh,
listen,
that's so good.
Give us Predator versus Jesus.
Oh my god! I saw a tweet somebody posted about like really wanting like samurai one, where it's like I forget which actor, but they were like, cast this guy as a samurai who the Predator killed his former master, and now he's like out for revenge. And I was like,
probably what's his name?
Those stories could work, though. It's just very exciting. And as a fan of the series, it's just great to see it happening.
Not revenge, but like out for
Yeah,
restore the honor. Yeah,
Hiroyuki Sanada.
Yes,
he'd be great.
He'd be great. Predator.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Dude, his master's got to be Ken Watanabe.
Ooh,
just remake The Last Samurai, but replace Tom Cruise with a Yautja.
Yes,
I'd be so in. Come on. Oh my god.
The Last Predator.
The Last Yautja.
The Last Yautja.
All right. Climax of the movie, y'all. The final confrontation. So this leads to kind of like our next payoff bit. Earlier in the movie, there was a moment where Naru went off on her own and ends up getting stuck in a like swamp, in like a not quicksand, but in a bog that is like threatening to like suck her down, and she has to throw her axe up and like hook it on a branch somewhere to pull herself out. And absolutely brilliantly set up, because now she uses the Frenchman to lure the Predator back to steal its helmet. So because she's observed in the fight with Tabe, she observed that he was using the helmet as the like targeting system. So she gets the helmet. She takes the helmet now. And she runs off into the bog, and he pursues her. And she is able to, essentially set a trap and turn the tables on him and get him to, I believe, shoot himself using his own targeting system.
Yep.
By putting herself in, essentially putting herself in danger to trap him to then kill him. Essentially, again, another setup and payoff, almost exactly what she did with the mountain lion.
Yeah.
Except that, this was more of a build-up, but yeah, she refined her technique, she observed his weaknesses, his, abilities, and turned all of that against him.
Yeah, like that's how you hunt,
Yep. And then she is able to, that was her, she proved herself. She comes back to her tribe, and she is, I believe, their new war chief.
She becomes their war chief.
Yeah, and you see this final shot of her painted with the glowing blood, predator blood,
so cool.
And it's fucking awesome.
That's a ruler.
Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah, on paper, it's a very it's a pretty standard plot. There's not a whole lot of twists and turns. Lee, I don't know if you want to elaborate more on the very loud individuals online complaining about her.
Listen, you fucking neckbeards. All right. You fucking bastards. All these people who throw around that word woke. Okay, first off, shut the fuck up. All right? Because woke is just the word that you're all using now to conceal what you really feel about the other gender. And, sticking to, there's only two sexes, male and female. And, if we're trying to raise awareness about things that I'm not comfortable with, you're just being woke and being woke. Shut the fuck up. Okay? All of these articles saying this movie sucks because Naru is not a believable opponent for a monster like the Predator. I got two fucking words for you. Ellen fucking Ripley.
Literally.
Sarah Connor, come on.
Sarah fucking Connor.
The whole debate about there's so many fucking things in this movie that very much make it so she's not a fucking flawless Mary Sue character. She is not the modern.
Absolutely
she is not the modern strong female character who just basically can do anything or whatever. She fucks up. She gets the shit kicked out of her. She learns from her mistakes and we clearly see time and time again her fucking strength is the fact that she's able to fucking adapt and that she's observant.
She learns.
We see this time and time again throughout the entire goddamn movie. Yeah. I think most of those criticisms are just primarily stemming from people who haven't watched the movie and are just assuming.
Yes. It's these gut reactional it has to be this, it's gonna be this, or I see POC lady on the cover, and therefore that must be woke garbage.
Yeah,
it's just
the same motherfuckers who are making critique videos on She-Hulk before the first episode even comes out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
exhausting.
Oh god, yeah. And then it's just reactionary shit on top of reactionary shit, and it's just I actually saw a post the other day that was talking about if Avatar: The Last Airbender was airing now, you'd have people complaining about how Toph was too woke because she's a badass blind girl who teaches the male protagonist half a quarter of his skill set.
Yeah.
And I'm just that shit was 10 years ago. How have we devolved to this point in society where that is she's a fantastic character, and people would bitch about her now.
We've devolved to that point because of Twitter. Twitter's just cancer and evil, and it's just everybody has the internet. The internet is simultaneously a wonderful place and it's a fucking terrible place because the fact that there's anonymity means that anybody can say whatever the fuck they want, and they think there's no repercussions, and they think it's this constant thing
we're
of
giving
just
platforms to people with these opinions that then like other people are like, oh, like I guess I feel this way too, and it's just like, no, guys,
it's
like,
this constant circle jerk of just nonsense and just people being toxic, and like it doesn't particularly help the fact that just we as a society have become increasingly toxic over the stupidest goddamn shit. I mean, like, it's not just enough to be able to be like, I don't like X movie because it's not, or I like X movie because of Y reason or whatever. There has to be some stupid ulterior motive, or you have to try to tear down somebody who likes something. It's like one of the examples.
People who refuse to think about their consumption.
One of the
they just see a thing and react to it.
One of the chief things that I keep always bringing up is like, I still am just flabbergasted. He fucking, one of the most political things in 2016 and a fucking election year was the stupid fucking Ghostbusters remake. Who fucking cares? It's a fucking stupid movie. Is it bad? Is it good? I don't know, because the toxicity behind it just made it so I don't give a fuck about the movie. I don't want to see it. I don't want to even think about it. Same thing with like modern Star Wars. Like,
I didn't like it, but not because they were ladies. I didn't think it was a good comedy. And then I see like everyone who didn't like it is like, you know, a bunch of asshole neckbeards, and I'm just like, you know what? We're just never going to talk about this movie ever again.
Yeah, it's the same with modern Star Wars. Like, I don't give a shit about modern Star Wars because I don't like it, and also Disney keeps pumping it out, so I'm sick of it, and I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you don't like modern Star Wars? That means you're sexist. Oh, you like modern Star Wars? That means you're woke. It's like, can't people just like or dislike shit because
you don't like Rey because you don't like female leads? No, I love female leads in Star Wars. Her name's Ahsoka Tano. Okay, I don't like Rey because she's a shitty character.
Yeah.
They did my boy Finn dirty, god damn it.
They did Finn so dirty. Let's not even fucking get into this. I have thoughts.
I wanna take a quick minute to praise the Predator franchise for, on one end of the spectrum, having a movie in 2022 with one of the strongest female action leads of the past decade.
For sure.
And on the other end, the most masculine fucking movie ever, the original Predator. Arnold and like 7 of his jacked boys all chewing tobacco and beating Predator with their dicks. It's the greatest macho 80s action movie. And then you've got Prey in the same franchise. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Well said. Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's just a fucking stupid.
Let's get back to praising Prey. Because,
sorry, I got wound up on.
Yeah, all right.
Check my blood pressure.
So going back slightly, but the entire cast did a fantastic fucking job.
Yeah.
Just
shout
absolutely.
out to Dakota Beavers, who that's his first acting role.
Yeah, he was so good. That is her brother. He was so good. He was so good.
He was discovered in a TJ Maxx or something.
Really?
He was working cashier at a retailer, like I think it was TJ Maxx or something.
Oh, wow.
And a talent scout or somebody just saw him and went like, do you act? Because you're like, wow.
All right, well, there you go.
Like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Everyone in this movie did a fantastic job. Directing was spot on. It's a gorgeous film as well. Like, really good cinematography. Let's see what else. Sound design was really great. Even though, I will wholeheartedly applaud them for actually doing a Comanche language dub, like I said earlier. Let's see. I'm trying to think.
I gotta praise it for something that I give a lot of movies lately shit about.
Yeah.
Pacing.
Yeah,
yes,
it's a very
brilliant.
It's a very like solid script for sure.
Yeah, very tight script.
Yeah, genuinely I just don't have any complaints. I think
like any complaint I have is basically a nitpick.
Oh yeah.
Like the CG animals. The CG animals kind of look like shit. but it's like its budget was small, so it's like I can forgive it. Like it wasn't like it's not a fucking $100 to $200 million movie. I mean, granted, I think its budget was like 90 million, and that is a lot of money, and maybe more time could have been spent on the visual effects. But it's like it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like I said, anything
honestly,
I have is just a minor nitpick.
Yeah. To me, the animals weren't that distracting. I actually I commented something similar in another movie that I watched recently, that had a CG animal in it. But I feel like that was handled a little better in that movie, but we'll get to that whenever we discuss that movie. But yeah, like this one, it wasn't. I feel like it didn't distract me as much. James, I know you also had a complaint that like the one thing you said afterwards, where you were like, "Man, I wish the Predator's mouth didn't open that big."
Oh yeah, that's just
I wish the Predator had smaller mandibles.
That's just a nitpick I've had with the entire fucking franchise since Predator 1.
You started being like, I have a minor nitpick. I'm like, oh, here we go, the mandibles. And then you're like, the CG animals. I'm like, huh?
I forgot about the entire fucking mandible thing. It's like, because at this point, I go into a Predator movie. I go into a Predator movie expecting that the mouth is going to look stupider. Like, I like the original design of the Predator, and I think, like, the way it closes and the way it opens, but, like, I just think in every single subsequent Predator movie, the mouth just opens way too large, and, like, it never properly closes, and it's just an artistic thing. It's super minor. It didn't stop me from liking Predators. It didn't stop me from liking Prey. It's not the reason I dislike Predator 2 or The Predator.
Yeah. It's just something James has to sigh at whenever it's on screen.
Yeah, because we can't talk shit on Predator 2. So fucking good. Oh, I can talk shit on Predator 2 all goddamn
Predator 2 has a sword fight between a Yautja and a witch doctor.
Dude, I don't even fucking care. That movie's a fucking hot mess. I want to like that movie, but it's a fucking mess.
Mikey and I are in a museum, like looking at the Mona Lisa and going, "Now this is all right." But let's talk about King Willie's fight scene in Predator 2.
Come on, dude, it's so good.
God damn it!
Whatever.
Love that fucking movie.
The three of you are pretty big fans of the franchise, yeah?
I'm
moderately fan.
So
I like the movies.
Where would y'all rank this one if you had to in the pantheon, as it were?
Second best.
Second best?
Yeah,
compared to the first one?
Yeah, the first one I don't think will ever get topped, because the first one is just such a perfect dissection of 80s machismo, where it just starts off as your standard run-of-the-mill 80s action schlock, and slowly turns into a fucking horror movie. And then, like, the last chunk of that movie, there's, like, hardly any fucking dialogue, because it's just Schwarzenegger running around in the fucking forest. And
the conflict
just,
itself,
and it's just that original concept, like, it's done really fucking well here in Prey. Don't get me wrong, and it's a very close second. But it's just, the first movie is just so fucking iconic and just a perfect deconstruction of that era of 80s schlock. It's a lot more intelligent than I think people give it credit for.
Absolutely.
Well,
Mike and Lee, do you agree with that assessment? Is that
I believe I'm on my own here. I think this is the best Predator movie to date.
Wow.
I adore the first movie, and I've seen it like maybe more times than I've seen any other movie.
Oh wow.
But I just I don't know exactly how to say it, but I just loved that Predator and this movie Prey, they followed such a close formula, but Prey took itself seriously in a way that I was never taken out of the immersion in a way, and Predator was so fucking funny and so fun that after so many viewings of the movie, Predator to me is it's just like a piece of shining gold in my memory palace, you know. This was to me everything that I loved about Predator, but it had an extremely believable and like heavy tone throughout. Like I just loved the way that this movie was presented. I like loved. I don't think there's anything about this movie that I didn't enjoy, and yeah, like for that reason, I think that I enjoyed this more than the first one, and
Wow.
I feel like pretty confident in saying that. I know this movie is of course not as iconic as the first, and as like a huge fan of the other series, like I love the first movie because of what was able to come after it, but this was my favorite Predator, as in the character himself. This was my favorite protag. It was my favorite setting. Everything about this movie was just like dope. It was like so good. I don't know. And I loved like thematically that it was a coming of age story for both the hero and the villain of the story. Like that theme just like hit me like really hard, and I just like enjoyed it the whole way. So yeah, honestly, Prey to me is number one. The original Predator is like right behind it, but I think that I'm putting this on top of the on top of the mountain.
Lee, you gonna be our tiebreaker?
I'm gonna put down a firm statement as to why Colin and Greg Strauss's masterpiece AVP Requiem is the best Predator film.
I'm fucking leaving. Each kid, fucking stop it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face.
Look, I can defend AVP 1. AVP 2? No.
Same.
No. You cut that shit out. That's fucking illegal. You can't even see what's happening in that fucking movie.
You literally can't see the movie.
It's fucking Kat, I don't know if you've seen AVPR, but it fucking makes Axum video quality look better. All right, you can't see a goddamn thing in AVPR.
It is a train wreck, a very dark train wreck.
Listen. I've watched my share of found footage movies that didn't know a lighting setup from their own ass. So I'm right there with you.
That's fair. We're talking to the master of the found footage here. Okay, this is a tough one because I think to actually make up my mind, I need to watch the Comanche dub.
Okay.
Because I'm really neck and neck on it. Because the more I've sat on it, and after watching it 2 times, Naru might be one of my favorite action characters of the past, I don't know how long. Dude, there's something about this character that I even mentioned it when we were watching it. I think I mentioned it to Mike, that there's the first scene where she's told to go gather plants, and then she like practices throwing her tomahawk and then chases the deer and fails. And I told Mike, like, that scene was like 3 minutes with no dialogue, and I care more about this character than anything I've cared about in the last like 10 movies I've watched.
You were spot on there too, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. She like Amber Midthunder just does such a good job with the character in just her presence in every aspect of acting, basically. But holy shit! Like I remember. I think you mentioning that because I thought after you said that, I was like, yeah, I really hope she makes it to the end. Like I was gunning for her, and it's I think nowadays a lot of films kind of forget that. They forget to add the sort of like, you want to root for these people, you want to care about these people, and so this one actually like did a great job. You really like you felt the familial bond that they had, her sort of dedication to her tribe, even though they only saw her as her gender and not for her capabilities. And
it's due in large part to how they pace it, how we were saying, like, we like Naru so much because we learn and grow with her. And like if the movie right out the gate tried to establish that she's this damn good. Like if she nailed, the deer in the first 5 minutes,
It would have been cheese.
I wouldn't have given a fuck.
Yeah.
It's the fact that she failed and was still willing to, to keep learning and keep improving and show people wrong. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm rooting for this girl.
Yeah.
And then on the opposite end, you've got Arnold yucking it up for an hour and a half, and
those one-liners are so good.
They're fucking legendary.
I know.
One of the greatest character performances ever by Jesse the Body Ventura.
Everybody is so
Blaine.
Carl Weathers, man, he's so fucking good. That fucking handshake.
Well, see that. Okay, I was gonna say I was thinking about the handshake because I'm like, that's one of the coolest cheesy '80s action moments ever. Is the handshake at the start of the movie, and then my brain immediately went back to the feral predator breaking a bear's neck with a right haymaker, and I went, "Oh man, he punched a bear to death." I don't know.
Broke a bear's neck with his fist.
He did.
Yeah.
I gotta see the Comanche dub, but
Billy also.
I feel like that
I would love to
might be the thing that tips it. I want to say Prey is gonna be my favorite.
Wow, you and me, Lee, we're in the same boat with it, huh?
Wow.
Because I rewatched the first one immediately before I showed Krista Prey. I was just gonna have Krista show Prey, show Krista Prey. I'm like, you can watch it on its own. It's perfectly serviceable. And she was actually game for a double feature. She's like, well, I've never seen the original. Let's do it. I'm like, yeah. And so I watched them back to back. I mean, first off, the first one aged wonderfully.
It is. It still fucking holds up, and those practical effects are so fucking good.
The only thing that makes me want to say the first one, but it's still so tough, is it's the best pacing for the reveal of an antagonist in a movie.
Right.
Every little bit of nothing about him, and you see a skinned body, and you're like, what the fuck does that mean? And then you see infrared vision, and you go, what the fuck is that? And then it's mimicking voices, and you go, this thing is bullshit.
Yeah, it's
and then it shoots a laser gun, and you're like, okay.
My only criticism with that first Predator movie is the same criticism I have with The Thing, and it's just cut the first 30 seconds of that fucking movie out. Don't show me the goddamn flying saucer. I don't need to see it.
Don't show me the flying saucer.
It works so much better when you have no idea what the fuck it is. Yeah. But yeah, I fucking love that movie. And I love Prey.
Awesome. I'm not going to rank because I don't think I've seen enough Predator movies to give the entire franchise a fair shake.
Okay.
I've
Which ones have you seen, Kat?
Ones. I've seen the first one. I've seen the one where they're on the other planet and it's Adrian Brody and
Predators.
Yeah.
What's his face is a serial killer.
Topher Grace.
Topher Grace is a serial killer.
That's my third.
I have seen the 2018 one that was awful. And I think I have seen one of the AVPs, but I might have seen both of them, but I don't remember anything about them. There was a point where I was trying to watch all of the Alien movies in a row, so I might have caught a double feature of AVP and AVP Requiem, but I can't rightly say for sure. I have vague memories of them fighting in Antarctica.
That's AVP
one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then I've seen something like that, but I would say Prey is really, really, really good. So and I haven't seen the first Predator in a long enough time that I don't think I can properly compare the two. But
gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a glowing endorsement from the Gooncast.
Absolutely.
A very rare glowing endorsement.
100%. Watch it. Watch the Comanche dub. Support that shit.
It is easily my film of the year so far.
Nice.
Oh, interesting.
And it's going to be hard to unseat it.
It got hard dethroned for me, but we'll get to that. some other
Okay,
time.
fine. I'll watch
Ooh,
Nope.
I'm very curious.
Watch Nope, everybody.
Nope.
Whoa.
Nope is pretty good.
Cat's like, we're gonna podcast this, right? Without saying we're gonna podcast this,
All
right?
I want to do,
Yeah, right.
right now is talk about it because I keep wanting to talk about it, but I will refrain because I want us to Gooncast about it because
Sure,
there's
okay.
Wow. I
there's
gotta see
so
it.
much to talk about. There's so much to talk about.
There really
Yes,
is. Yeah.
absolutely.
All right, I'll
yeah.
watch it. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
All right, but go watch Prey, you fucks.
But yeah, go watch Prey, y'all.
And now for something completely different.
Completely different, but also a glowing
Oh
review.
yeah.
So, years and years, I'm basically completely out of the anime scene for the most part. I like anime, but I'm a very casual anime fan, and I don't really watch most shit. Instead, I just like.
That's interesting because I feel like you are the person who has gotten me into the most anime.
Oh, that's because what anime I do consume usually stems from anime YouTubers, and when an anime YouTuber recommends something or they pitch something that sounds interesting enough, I'll put it on a list, and then maybe one day I'll go and watch it, and then maybe I'll fall in love with it like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and this current one. Now, this current one I heard about years and years and years and years and years ago from Gigic, and it was on my list. I liked the premise, never got around to it, and I don't know, a month and a half ago, I was talking to Lee about anime, and Lee mentions that Krista had watched it and gave it a very glowing recommendation, and I was like, you know what, shit, I'm going to just sit down and watch it. And the next thing I knew, I had marathoned through all 3 seasons, and I couldn't shut the fuck up about it, and I dragged Lee and Kat and Mike and a few others kicking and screaming into it.
Listen, okay, all right, hold on. I take umbrage with the kicking and screaming because, yes, maybe at first we were like, "What, you want us to watch what?" But then, after
the first episode, yes.
Oh, I'm in.
Yes.
It's an absolute fucking delight. So,
yeah,
I guess
we're talking about Kaguya-sama, Love is War.
Yes, and major spoiler alert.
Yes.
From this point on,
yes.
we are going to talk about the entirety of the show that has aired, all 3 seasons. So, I guess we'll give it a very
an endorsement.
We'll give it a very quick blurb and an endorsement, and if it sounds like something that's like up your alley, just shut us off and go watch it and come back in 2 months.
Yeah. The quick brief elevator pitch is you have a male tsundere and a female tsundere, and they both like each other, but they're both too prideful and egotistical and maybe even a little scared to do anything about it. So they basically spend their days doing fucking psychological war and mind games on each other to try to trick the other person into confessing first.
It's Death Note as a slice of life romance.
Yes. And it is this show is so fucking extra. It is just the potato chip scene, but for a whole goddamn series.
That's how you go on, please.
The narrator
is
fucking
so good.
Hilarious.
He killed it.
In Japanese, apparently it's much more serious and as if they're, observing a a nature documentary sort of thing, just basic commentary on the side. The English dub narrator is all in.
This is a rare case of dub is so much better than sub.
Okay, so we all watched it dubbed then.
Yeah.
Yes,
oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
I started subbed and then I got lazy.
I swear to God, he goes off book. There's so many instances where his reaction is just so out of left field and took everyone so by surprise that I was like, I don't even know if this is actually the lines as written for him, or if somebody's in the booth going, Frank, what are you doing?
Yeah. It
was wonderful.
It is such a ridiculous and silly goddamn show while also being so fucking wholesome.
Yes.
It is so goddamn wholesome.
So if that sounds like your cup of tea, see you later.
Yeah.
Go watch
we
it.
might-
This has been the Gooncast.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
on back after you've watched Kaguya. Because
we might
we're
also,
gonna talk.
I mean, I don't know, it depends on how lazy James is being. We might have a timestamp or something to when to skip to for post Kaguya discussions, since we do have a special new segment
Yes, we do.
at the end.
Yes.
But regardless, get out of here.
Get outta
Don't
here.
listen if you want to watch Kaguya.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
try to
3,
fucking throw a timestamp in. or
2, 1. Okay, bye.
Spoilers.
Bye.
Spoilers.
All
There's
right.
your final warning.
Go.
Yeah, spoilers.
This
So,
show
huh?
fucking slaps.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, like holy, I don't like romance stuff in
Agreed.
most things.
Yeah.
I just kind of I really hate love triangles, and that tends to be how a lot of shows that I watch employ.
And harem anime.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're in the same
Yeah.
boat then. Yeah, I hate that shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
I cannot stand romances.
Yeah.
But it turns out that I just can't stand them when they're like really poorly done. And I think this it's so cute and clever, and like I've been basically recommending it to everyone who like I do, my recommendations are like the worst because they're just out of context moments where I'll just be like, all right, so I'm in an arm wrestling tournament arc right now, and it's just an excuse for the two main characters to hold hands.
Yeah.
And my friends will just be like, "You're what? Okay." Like, what is this show you're watching? And I'm like, tune in to find out.
What? Yeah. It just give it a yeah. It's like I'd be randomly messaging Kat and Lee and just be like, dude, they just dropped a Dark Souls reference.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Describe
a lot of like
describe
weird
a fucking
references.
Yeah, if you've been a frequent listener of the Gooncast for a while, you know that a lot of us seem to carry, I wouldn't say a lack of interest in the lighter topics. A lot of what we talk about here is horror and action and more of the darker side of life, but we like to have our heartstrings tugged over here on the Gooncast.
Yeah.
And it just takes the right formula. You know, it takes the right amount of pizzazz.
Yes.
And boy, howdy, Kaguya-sama Love is War has pizzazz coming out the Yahoo.
It does.
Charming.
Yep.
It is
Yep.
charming.
It's got exceptionally well written and well defined characters who in some instances come across on their first impression you might not necessarily like them. I believe like Lee within the first episode, within I don't know, like a minute of it.
10 minutes. I'm like, I hate both of these motherfuckers.
He was like, I've never seen a series where it's
so annoying.
They're both protagonists are so fucking hateable. And yeah, they are very hateable. But it's like
bear with it.
Like they grow on you. And
God,
they're
they
so
do, absolutely
delightful and when it begins to like explore their like psyche and their inner workings and why they
Their
are
faults.
the way they are and their faults, like it doesn't play stuff and their hang-ups. It doesn't play stuff just for like a whack, like, oh, they're tsundere because stereotype. No, they're tsundere because of deep-seated psychological issues.
Yeah, the show is not afraid to get into a lot of these darker elements that might seem like out of place or like out of left field for the rest of the series. Like there are some episodes completely dedicated to backstories of the characters that are very strong tearjerkers. That aren't afraid to go to very dark
fireworks
places.
episode was just
Oh
like,
my god.
I was like tearing up. I'm just sitting there like, holy fuck. Like, and literally like, you know, the episode beforehand, we had just been like chuckling about, you know, the random shenanigans that we're getting up to.
Yeah. And it's just,
but it doesn't feel like a tonal whiplash at all. Like it's all very
well set up,
grounded. In the universe.
Well, and the overall structure of the show helps it a lot. So there is a guiding narrative. There is a through line, obviously. It all happens, you know, at a good chronological pace. But the episodes are all sort of their own isolated gimmicks. They're all their own incidents. Because it is a running game, and the narrator is keeping score. The narrator is keeping score between the two leads, Kaguya and Miyuki. And it can kind of throw you off sometimes when you get wrapped up in that lighthearted nature of it, of like, oh yeah, let's see who gets the upper hand on this one, and then out of nowhere it's like, fuck you, it's Ishigami's backstory episode, and you're like, oh, but like, I had a bad day at work.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I don't need this.
and now you're catching it in feels,
Yeah, it goes back and forth between like these serious dramatic moments, and some of the dramatic moments, they may be like small and like trivial, but like in the context of the show and the narrative, like the fireworks thing, the fact that Kaguya is such a sheltered individual and she's never been able to like go out and see fireworks with friends, and she has this big thing set up with her friends and her crush, and she's gonna see it, and then right at the last second it's fucking taken away from her. It's just devastating. And you just desperately want her to see these fucking fireworks with her friends. And then she escapes her house, and you're desperately wanting her to get there in time, and she doesn't make it, and it's the most devastating and soul-crushing thing, and it's just so beautifully animated too, just the way she's like slowly breaking down to cry, and then it just immediately pulls the most wholesome, satisfying shit where Miyuki shows up and saves the fucking day, and like drags her to another fireworks thing. It's wonderful.
Employing the ramen kings.
Oh yes, the
four
kings of ramen. Yeah, so funny.
Yeah. I wanted to bring them up very briefly before he shows up and steals the show.
Oh, you mean the one of the best characters?
You know exactly who I mean.
Oh, I know exactly who you mean.
The eldritch being himself, who has been lurking in the corner of this podcast, awaiting the time to arise.
All right. Well, before we get into that, narrators, we already said
sugar daddy in yellow, if you will.
before we get to that, briefly, we've already said it, but like, narrator's the best. Narrator fucking slaps. Ishigami's best boy.
Oh my god.
Now explain to the people who Ishigami is.
Ishigami is basically this super loner nerd type character who's just always fucking miserable. And he's their
treasurer?
Yeah, he's their treasurer. Yeah, he's the treasurer. And he's just constantly saying like the wrong thing at the wrong time. Some of the things he says are vaguely creepy. The stuff that happens is nothing goes right for this boy at all, and a lot of it's for a gag, right? And as the show progresses, right, like I said, you get first introduced to somebody, and first impression is different from what they actually are. It's like getting to know somebody in fucking real life in a lot of instances. We learn why he is the way he is. And it's one of the most gut-wrenching fucking backstories in this goddamn show. Of just someone trying to do the right thing and it backfiring spectacularly on him. To the point where he's just had his entire social status ruined beyond repair almost, and like almost everybody ostracizes him and treats him like this freak who has this rage boiling underneath, and he could snap at any minute and do something horrible, and he's just so miserable. And then again we get the wholesomeness of their fucking bromance, where the entire series we've had moments of Miyuki and Ishigami. Miyuki's the boy Cinderella. Of just
I ship them harder than anybody.
Their bonding and their bromance is so fucking goddamn strong.
Genuinely, at some points, Lee and I were just like, if Kaguya and Miyuki don't get together, I really hope that Ishigami and
I hope they broaden
Miyuki
their horizons.
I love that.
Yeah,
open themselves up to some BL.
Holy shit, please.
Yeah, and
I love that.
Then we get the scene of how Miyuki and Ishigami first met. And it's one of the most wholesome goddamn fucking things. Where it's just, you're crying tears of fucking joy. Of just like, this is so fucking cute and wholesome and sweet and
so
uplifting.
Sweet.
And, On that note, Hayasaka, best girl. She's Kaguya's maid. She's like does all
Wait,
her
what about
underhand.
Chica?
Let's go,
Hayasaka-
cat, dude.
look,
Chica
man.
is best girl. I'm sorry.
Chica's great, but Hayasaka best girl.
To the people who haven't
narrator
seen the
agrees with me.
show,
Oh,
Alright.
we're gonna. Are we gonna get?
people who-
Is this a Goon Squad split?
we might be verging on Gooncast waifu wars, but for those of you who haven't seen the program, this is the character that is most commonly floated around. Like, I had been under the assumption before I even watched the show that Chica was the main character because she's the one fucking advertised everywhere.
Yeah.
She's the one fucking
she's like the
plastered on
mascot.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the mascot character.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
she's
and
such
she's the
the
most
necess-
memeable. I feel
Yes.
like. Yeah.
Well, she's the necessary force of chaos that kind of like keeps the balance between the two, because you've got these two fucking egotistical, ruthless bastards.
Oh yeah, they're
They're
playing like
Machiavellian
40
villains.
love chess,
Yeah,
and
they're-
she will come like yeet her big boobs across the fucking playing area. And just like ruin everyone's plans.
Yeah, it's
To get them to kiss.
How oblivious she is, and how well-meaning she is, that just ruins all of their well-laid Machiavellian shit.
Yep.
With her like big heart.
I love her
the
so much,
sweetest.
and just
Yeah, same.
every time she has to teach Miyuki how to fucking
Those
do
are some of the best
anything.
episodes.
How to
Yeah,
teach,
dude.
how to teach him anything.
Yeah.
how to sing, how to dance, how to rap, like
The
How
best.
to
go.
fucking balloons.
God, oh my God, dude, the best.
Chica is the reason that boy is still in the game. God damn it.
For sure.
Now,
Yes.
with that said, though, Hayasaka, best girl.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Lee.
It's a split.
Oh my God.
The amount of shit Hayasaka
Go.
the amount of shit Hayasaka goes through for fucking Kaguya's sake.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
Absolutely.
It's she is a fucking trooper.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. I feel like Chica and Hayasaka are like, you know, the best girls for each character, right?
Yeah,
Where it's just like, cause yeah, Chica goes through so much fucking shit because of Miyuki.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, Hayasaka goes through so much fucking shit because of Kaguya. But yeah,
Now look,
I'm surprised they're not friends actually.
They are in
kind of
one
are,
of
yeah.
in one of Hayasaka's alternate forms. Although Chika's also oblivious because she's met Hayasaka as both Hayasaka the student and then Hayasaka the butler.
Yes.
And there's Chika's oblivious to almost everybody's oblivious to the fact that it's the same fucking person in just my hairstyle is different or my accent is different or I'm in drag.
Yeah, I'm in drag or my hair is in braids now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm wearing contacts.
I'm wearing contacts. I'm doing a fake British accent.
See, like that's when I knew the show was not playing fair. Okay, look. My waifu is Cammy from Street Fighter.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
My actual wife, when I fell in love with her, had blonde braids. I've got a type. So then Hayasaka braids her hair. And I messaged James. I said, I understand, my brother.
Oh God damn it.
I understand.
Womp womp. Yeah, it's just and she's such a fucking schemer and so goddamn fucking sassy to everything Kaguya does. I just adore her.
Mm-hmm.
But with all that said, I think we can all agree that probably the best character on this fucking show
Anyone else feel a chill go up their
There he
spine?
is.
is the Eldritch Horror himself. Papa Shirogane.
Hey, son, what's going on? You got $5 I can borrow?
I'm going to become a VTuber.
An important part about being a father is listening to their children. So come on, tell Sugar Daddy what's wrong.
Oh, Sugar Daddy.
Never call yourself that.
my God.
Never call yourself that again. Papa Shirogane.
Yeah.
It's so he's basically the major force of chaos outside of Chika, in between both Kaguya and Miyuki. And it's not because he's oblivious. it's because he doesn't give a he does give a fuck. He's very concerned about his son's well-being. He's a good dad, but he's also a fucking top-tier troll dad. He's a 100% fucking troll dad who gets goddamn amusement out of making Miyuki squirm and poking the bear with Kaguya. It's like, hey, so are you two dating yet? It's wonderful.
It's so hard to describe him because I want to call him like a terrible father, and I can't. I can't, but I like it feels so right to.
Yeah. Like he's definitely not all together.
Oh no, he's had some shit happen.
Barely human.
He's barely human. Yeah.
He's had some bad shit to him.
That's true.
His wife left him.
Unchecked grief.
He's refuses to sign the divorce papers, and he still acts as though he's married. And he's doing his best.
He's had a rough life, and he is doing his best. But then he shows up to school events, and you're just like, oh no, poor Miyuki.
He dodges the predictable bullet of someone in his situation. Not to get like too real life counseling on this thing, but of like trying to live vicariously through his successful son. He doesn't try to do that. He just shows up and he just tries to be present. Now he shows up for school functions at 10 a.m. drinking.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
But he's there.
He's there.
And talking to his son's crush, who he also has a crush on his son at this point, and being like, "I'll be your dad," and you're like, "Well, God damn it! Like, no,
So
Papa Shirogane, stop."
You're dealing with some very complicated feelings about the boy at school that you have a crush on, and then his dad shuffles over to you smelling like Sapporo at 10 in the morning, going, "So, you gonna hop on that or what?"
Oh my god!
Yeah. No, that's the
as
show.
a tentacle slips back under his pant leg.
Oh, which, by the way, you may have noticed we've been referring to him as exclusively Papa Shirogane because he does not have another name.
He doesn't have a name.
We are not allowed to know his full name.
I've looked it up on the wiki.
He's less of a human being and more of a concept.
I've looked it up on the wiki. He has no listed name. It's just Papa Shirogane.
That's so funny.
Yep. I see him listed as just Miyuki and Ki's father.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it's just like, oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, it would either give us too much power over him, or, as Lee and I have predicted, invoking his name means invoking the end of the universe as we know it.
It's like Gabriel's trumpet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically, yeah. It's
Herald of Doom.
It's wild. He's wild. He's unpredictable. He shows up when you least expect it. You want him to show up because every scene he's in is fucking gold, and his dub actor does a wonderful job.
Oh, who's his dub actor, James?
Well, I don't know who his dub actor is, but his sub actor, his Japanese voice actor, is fucking Dio Brando.
Oh yeah.
And it's hearing Dio Brando as Papa Shirogane. I've only seen it via clips on YouTube that usually end up splicing in JoJo dialogue into it at the end. It's fucking unreal and amazing.
God.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I just checked the numbers. Papa Shirogane is only in 8 episodes out of 38.
Really?
And I'll be damned if every time he didn't show up, we got the biggest pops of the entire evening.
Yeah.
He is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, he makes an appearance in the season 3 opening. And like that was the point where we were like, oh, season 3 is going to be our favorite. Like every episode, it was just like, oh my god, why is he in the intro?
Why did they put him in the intro?
What's going to happen?
I'm worried.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What is he going to do?
What's going to happen? Oh my god.
This is. I can't say enough good things about it. Anime and I, much like James, like I was kind of on the outs with it. It would take something like really unique to get me back into it. Like I thought Netflix's Castlevania was really good, but like
I haven't seen that yet, actually.
I'm most of the way through it. It's great.
Yeah,
it's pretty fucking good. But like to get back into a full anime series has been tough for me. Like I like Overlord, but like look, I am a child of the 90s.
I'm just waiting for Attack on Titan, y'all.
I'm I'm a child of the 90s. If you can put yourself in my shoes for a minute, I am from the era of couch co-op Halo 2 while you're playing Demon Days by the Gorillas and eating Totino's pizza pockets that are still cold in the middle. You know, if you're like me, then with Tsunami classics and Futanari hentai. Okay, you know what? I'm a man of the 90s.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
But on a serious no, Love is War is it's fucking charming. It's hilarious. It I haven't been excited about a currently running show like this in quite a while. Like, I am eagerly awaiting the next season to drop.
Yep.
So there is confirmed a fourth.
Yeah, that got confirmed. They confirmed a new anime project. I think at least part of it is going to be theatrical. The only thing that we know about it is that it is based on the next arc, and it's using the next arc's name, which is The First Kiss Never Ends.
Oh, cute.
Oh, what a spoiler.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of the kiss, like, I have never in my life been so hype for a will they, won't they? Oh my god.
3 seasons of build-up.
Oh
also,
my god.
We are like gushing over like a fucking romance. Did y'all ever think this would be us?
No, we haven't even talked about the fucking OPs yet, man.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about the fucking banger OS OPs. Like, holy
oh my god,
shit.
yes, we do need to talk about the banger OPs because holy
we'll definitely
shit.
get to that.
But let's talk about the kiss first. Because it's so good.
I believe that this is the most deserved kiss in fiction.
Yeah.
Dude, like,
it's so
I've truly never been more hype. I've never been more hype about it. Yeah, it was so cute.
There's only one other time that, like, I saw one happen that I had been, like, waiting for and threw a fist in the air, like, yes, they finally did it. And that was in Deadwood. There was one in Deadwood where I'm like, fucking finally,
I saw that one. Okay.
Yes. And this one was just, perfectly paced.
I swear I'm not tooting my own horn with this, but the first time I ever played Left Behind was when I was working QA at Naughty Dog, and we were testing a patch for Remastered. This was in Lost Legacy days, and the Ellie Riley kiss. I was like, yes. That one I thought was also very deserved.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
This is one of those things of like, sure, they could have dragged us along for another season, making us wait for it.
Sure.
But the fact that we got it, but now the game has just continued
in a new way.
And now it's, they need to figure out, like, are they or aren't they dating?
Yes.
Can they know these things?
God.
Like, the game has just entered a new level.
Okay, and also, y'all, like, first of all, you shouldn't be watching this if you haven't seen the show.
Yeah.
But that final episode where it's like this okay, first of all, the whole final season is a massive setup for this final episode. Like,
the whole setup and payoff.
Miyuki has been planning this shit.
That's the theme of tonight's podcast: setup and payoff.
Yes, setup and payoff. God damn it! Why aren't we talking about Nope 2? Son of a bitch.
Kaguya-sama, Prey is War.
There you go.
Kaguya-sama, Prey is Nope. Because I'm just gonna slip it in.
I can't see this now.
I know. Okay. But yeah, and then the final episode takes place during their like school festival.
Yes.
And fucking Miyuki like sets it up so that the what's it called? Some big prop like goes missing.
This giant dragon egg thing.
Yeah, the dragon egg, and then it's like this big, not really even like it's just like a theft, and she's got to catch the thief, and it all leads up to this like the fucking top of the clock tower where he's set up all of these balloons to get released from the bonfire and literally float on the fucking updraft up the side of the clock tower in the most fucking romantic, beautiful gesture possible as he confesses to her because he's said that like he's going to do it if she doesn't on the like this festival because he's going away to America for college. He's going to
Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford. Yeah.
And he wants her to go with him.
And he wants her to go with him, and that's like that's he's essentially confessing to her and also asking her to like continue being with him. And that's when we get, and she kisses him.
She kisses him, and it's a fucking French kiss.
Yes, and it's wonderful.
It's so fucking wholesome and silly and over the top, and just
like
moments of this have been set up throughout the entire fucking season.
We were cheering, and then the thing is, like, the show that, like, that's not the end of the episode. The end of the episode is, like, right afterwards, they go right back into, like, okay, we're, like, the last year of student council, we're preparing our, like, final year, and then, like, you get a little bit of internal monologue from both of them being like, well, now it's extra on. And you're like, what? Like, oh my god, I can't.
And they're holding hands.
And they're holding hands.
Yeah, and Kaguya is like gushing to Hayasaka about the kiss, and then she gets flustered because she realized Miyuki did not specifically say, I love you. So now she's trying to plan to get him to say that, even though it's fucking obvious, goddamn.
Yeah, come on.
It's the fact that they need to hear it said.
Yeah. And it's so wonderfully fucking just set up and fucking pay off is the fucking thing. And just so much of that. And there's so much reincorporation of like little fucking jokes. Like the one you guys caught where they do that fucking stupid game, and like Chica's like, oh, how many cats do you see in a box? And Miyuki's like 9, and Chica's like, oh, that means you want 9 kids. And then like couple episodes later, or however many episodes later, they're playing the Happy Life game. And in the Happy Life game, Chika and Miyuki get married, and they have 9 kids.
Yep.
And it's like,
and then I think the fortune teller also says something about him having 9 kids.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It all keeps popping up.
Yeah,
meant to be.
That's okay. So that's the thing. That's part of the theme for tonight. And again, I'm going to make my pitch for us doing a note podcast at some point. But this sort of like attention to detail, and that's the stuff that like really kind of like, it can't be the only thing that's happening in your film, right? Or your TV show. It can't just be references to other shit. But having kind of like little things that you put, in like episodes, and then, hours or many episodes later referring back to it, or, paying it off in some way. It's just like, yeah, that's how you fucking do it, y'all. Like, take notes, writers out there. This is how you do it.
On the subject of like just
pay
references,
attention. Don't just fucking throw everything at the wall, Resident Evil Netflix.
On the subject of like references or whatever, can we just talk about how unnecessarily fucking hard that show went for a goddamn rap sequence?
Oh my god. Oh my
the second I saw that scene, I was like, both Lee and Mike are gonna fucking adore this scene because it goes so fucking hard.
I definitely did. Did.
Yeah.
Look,
and
when it started building up, I'm like,
oh,
I'm not a fucking rap sequence. And then the beat kicked in, and I heard the cadence, and I went, oh, it's 80s. It's 80s rap. Bring it on.
I love it, dude. Oh my god.
No. And then the end of that episode had a like uniquely animated outro.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was fucking sick.
It went so goddamn hard.
Shit.
Yeah, James, you said that sequence was done by one person?
From what I read, yes. Let me see if I can quickly get it up real quick.
I'm gonna guess the animation was done by one person.
Yeah, the animation is specifically what I'm referring to.
Yes.
Right.
Not specifically, like, because there's definitely a team of people coloring and painting that shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna it's still very, very impressive, but it's not the full production was not a single
right. Okay.
I am going to like
the animated the animation was done by an 18-year-old, and he did the storyboard, direction, and key animation for that sequence.
That's so cool.
Yes. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
Again,
still very impressive, especially for somebody so young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah, it's a really, really well animated section.
On the topic of this rap music going on in Kaguya-sama, James, can you please enlighten the people out there as to who the fuck Masayuki Suzuki is?
A Giga Chad?
Fucking yeah.
he is. So they have, like typical anime, you know, there's your anime opening, right? They got their theme song, and this show has three theme songs, and they got the same singer, although in each one he has a different backup vocalist, to do every single theme song. And from what I've read, based on his Wikipedia page, he's like one of the most famous Japanese romance / love singers, basically, right? And he's had a career for fucking years and years and years. And this man's voice has so much fucking energy to it. And it's just he fucking God damn it, I'm fucking slipping on the goddamn word. Elevates every fucking goddamn thing, like from the first song, I can't even fucking remember the name of it, to Daddy Daddy Do, to the third song. Just everything he touches is just Love Dramatic. Yeah, that's the first one, and then Giddy Giddy is the third one. It's just, he is so fucking good, and you see him, and he looks like somebody out of like Yakuza 0 with the fucking sunglasses and the fucking jank ass suit and the fucking mustache. He looks like a fucking
I don't want to say he
Chad.
belongs to an organized crime syndicate, but when he walks into a room, he gets a splash screen with his name on it.
Yeah, basically. Like, it's fucking first patriarch of the Kaguya-sama clan. Like, holy
first
shit.
patriarch of love.
It's fucking wonderful and fucking, god damn it, his voice is so fucking good. And Daddy Daddy Do is such a fucking banger. Like, good god.
Daddy Daddy Do slaps.
It's wonderful. I don't think I've been this addicted to like an anime opening since fucking Bloody Stream and maybe Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town. Like,
so does anyone here have anything bad to say about the series as a whole? Because I don't.
Man, I'd have to really think on it.
I'd have to really fucking think on it. Like, here's like, at least from my perspective, I watched the whole fucking thing in the last, I don't know, when did I start bitching at you guys about it? Like, start of July, maybe?
Sometime, what is time anymore?
What is time? I've watched this entire fucking series collectively, either on my own or with Kat and Lee and Mike, about 5 times in the last 3 months.
Dude.
It's such a fast fucking watch, dude. It's such a fast watch.
I got one complaint. James had been very adamant that there was no fan service in the show.
I didn't say no. I didn't say
there
over
is
the
a
top.
little fan service in the show. No.
I said no panty shots. Specifically.
No.
I'll dig up my quote, goddammit.
You said there's no fan service, and I was like, oh, cool, an anime with no fans, and then I turned it on, I'm like,
I said little fan service.
What's this, James?
I said little fan service, goddammit.
I'm over here like a scumbag listening to this, just going like, man, Chica's older sister's got some big old titties.
I said little. I'm looking at my quote in our Facebook Messenger thing right now. I said fan service is kept to a minimum. Minimum.
All right.
Minimum, goddammit.
Yeah, I think there were just a couple of moments where I was like, this is maybe a little bit overly, a little much for my my American sensibilities.
Sure.
It's not on the level of on the gross level of Made in Abyss, but it's these are school children.
We don't talk about Made in Abyss.
We do not talk about Made in Abyss.
It has a wonderful goddamn setup and premise. But
it's got an amazing world and like fantastic fucking background designs.
Yeah,
but holy shit,
looks cool.
No one should watch it.
No.
it's pretty
holy
degenerate.
fucking shit.
It's
It
pretty
is.
degenerate.
Okay.
To the point where like people in Japan are like, yeah, the manga creator might be a fucking pedophile.
Jesus
in Japan,
Christ.
people are saying that, where they're like, yeah, he's
Yo.
gross.
In Japan.
Yeah.
Yo.
Like,
It's pretty rough.
Watching that shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't do it.
My complaint about Kaguya-sama Love is War is that there needed to be more of Chika's older sister, Toyomi.
God damn it.
The beach episode should have been at least a 6-episode arc
Yeah.
about her.
Wow.
So funny.
No, fucking wonderful program. I'm trying to honestly think of a fair like criticism I have, and like any criticisms that I was forming during the time we were watching the show, it all made sense.
Yeah.
Like I would start to get a little thrown off when the massive tonal shifts would come out of nowhere, but they were all completely justified.
Yeah.
And they did enhance the overall arc and were necessary.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
So I really can't think of any like glaring downside. I'm trying to think of like I'm trying to think now because like there's maybe a very small tier of series that I would consider 10 out of 10s. And I think I want to put Kaguya in it.
Yeah.
Kaguya has definitely, I mean, it's definitely made my top 10 list of this year. It does not outclass Erased for me, just because
That's fair.
Yeah, I love Erased,
Yeah,
but
yours and Kenny Omega's favorite. Yes.
Hell yeah. It's yeah, I mean it's probably it's up there for sure.
I think it's the it might actually be the only other anime it might be the only other one to join the 10 out of 10 club, because I think exclusively I had that tier at Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
I think I had Bebop as
there.
like the 10 out of 10. And I think this might have joined it up there. Fucking great series. Yeah. I mean, if you listened to this part of it, you've already heard the spoilers, but go fucking watch it anyway.
Yeah, just fucking watch it. It's
you'll
a fast
still have
watch.
such a good time. It's a very fast watch. Yeah,
Definitely,
it's not
definitely.
It's what I think we knocked it out in like a month, maybe.
Less
And
than
that was
around
watching
about
it once a week.
Yeah, it was watching it like once or twice a week, about 4 or 5 episodes at a time. I watched it on my own in the span of like a week and a half, maybe a little less, because it's 37 episodes, 24 minutes.
They're short, yeah,
15
exactly.
hours of content tops, and that can be a lengthy commitment, but it's so fast.
And it's mostly like very lighthearted. So like even though you're watching a lot of stuff, it's like, oh, you're watching like goofy fun stuff. It's very like, again, for the most part, it makes you feel good. It's just like nice feel good kind of stuff.
Yeah. Very, very, very
other than like the fireworks episode and like a couple of others. And like Ishigami's backstory and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh no, okay, I do. Okay, there is one criticism, I think.
Okay.
That is, I think it's somewhat valid. It's definitely a little bit unfortunate, but there was when we were watching, and Lee, you commented on this, you noticed this, and then I went online and I was like, have other people noticed this? And I found out, yeah, other people were noticing this too. The English voice actor for Miyuki's sister, Kay.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
What about her?
So, she was essentially the victim of having a not super up to snuff work from home setup for recording during COVID.
Yeah.
Nothing against the actress. Like, she does a great performance, and in the later seasons when they actually like had her in a more professional booth, she sounds fantastic. It's just that in some of the early seasons, the quality of her recordings is
I didn't even notice this.
Yeah, it's not really, again, it's a very, very minor nitpick.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really something most people will necessarily pick up on, but you know, it
we
does.
noticed.
Yeah, and it does. You definitely, considering that she's one of the main characters, and like all of the other main characters sound like extremely professional quality. Again, it's like, it's unfortunate because it's like I have felt bad for a lot of people in this era of like breaking into industries, but like probably no more so than voice actors, because you know it's you don't have the money to have a professional setup at home for the most part. So how are you gonna actually land these gigs? And it's like, well, like you're gonna sound not great.
on that note, like the one, I guess if I had like one minor nitpick, and again, it's not a nitpick, and it's by nobody's fucking fault, really. It's the fact that they at least temporarily had to recast Dub Miyuki for season 3. His replacement does a good fucking job. It's just, at least for me, it's always a little distracting going for a character to switch voice actors. And it's not anybody's fault, because the original actor blew out his voice and needed to go on recovery. And he could not voice Miyuki for season 3, at least as it was airing. From what I understand, the plan is they are going to go back, and the original actor is going to dub over season 3. And this was just like a brief sort of like thing so they could get out a dub. So it's by no fault of anybody. It's just like, as a personal preference, if you're watching it dubbed, it is going to be a little distracting going from season 2 to season 3. But it's not like they swapped him out for a bad voice actor, right?
No,
like,
he did a bang-up job.
Yeah, the replacement actor does a phenomenal fucking job. And especially considering the fact that he has to fucking rap.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, 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 like, it's a very fucking minor goddamn nitpick that I can't even say it's a real fault. It's just a minor distraction.
Exactly. Same with the K's actor. It's their K's recording quality. It's just like, it's like, I feel really bad because it's really just a reality of the times we were living in, and it sucks. And, you know, hopefully they can get her to re-record it, or, you know, and if not, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
it still sounds fine. It's just a little jarring to hear her against like other people sometimes, but yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything negative to say.
Same.
The manga's wrapping up in October. And there's, I think, supposed to be, at least based up from what I've read from fans, at least it seems like there's going to be like at least 3 more seasons based off of how much material is left.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And the only real thing I know bits and bobs about what happens in the manga. I'm trying to be as spoiler free as possible because I do want to try to read it before the year's end, since it's wrapping up. But I know that Papa Shirogane becomes a VTuber. That's fucking goddamn hilarious. And I do know... He
has to spread his influence, James.
And I mentioned it to...
More must know.
I think I mentioned it to you guys in Facebook chat, but I guess the creator, he has another manga, and it just recently was revealed.
Oh yeah, and it's in the same world as...
It's in the same world, and it takes place after Kaguya. And it has a reference to the ending of Kaguya. So it's I don't want to say it because it's a spoiler for an unrelated series that is also going to spoil
Kaguya.
the ending of Kaguya. But it's kind of interesting that he would drop this in a completely unrelated manga, showing like, oh yeah, these two are the same universe. Also, here's a tease.
I just need to know one thing: is the split off manga about the Ramen Kings?
No, it's about.
God damn it!
I don't.
Then I don't care.
I don't know much about it outside of just the fact that it's related to Kaguya. I haven't really looked into it, just because
I want a whole
I'm so
12
lazy.
episode season of the Ramen Kings just going around different shops looking for the perfect bowl.
Well, we are going to get more ramen battles. I know that. I know we're getting more ramen battles.
Hell yeah.
Thank God.
I love that Chica is like an honorary member at this point.
Yeah, she's gained their respect.
Yeah. Because, of course. Of course she has.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
best girl.
She's best girl.
If you say so.
I mean,
Wow, all right. We're gonna have to have the fucking the entire Goon Squad will be split down the middle.
yeah, this is like when we were arguing over Alien and Aliens.
Yeah. We're gonna have to ask every single guest star to blind pick Chika or Hayasaka.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get Rensi and Niku on the show as guests, and we're gonna
both Rensi and
Banana
Niku,
Boat.
both Rensi and Niku have watched the whole thing, so they can actually
Oh
have.
hell yeah! Banana Boat has not, so she's just gonna blind guess.
That's fine.
We're just gonna have a whole episode about waifus and husbandos. That's it.
All right.
All right.
That's perfect. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, y'all already know my waifu for waifu. It's fucking Jill Valentine. God damn it.
Well, yeah.
Oh my god.
It's perfect.
All
yeah.
right.
All right, you goons. So, final thoughts, Kaguya.
Fucking watch
watch
it.
Fucking go watch it, you fucking
Yeah.
idiots.
Yeah.
What are you doing listening to us?
Shut up, everybody. Go watch it.
It's great. I'm sure you'll be pleasantly surprised by it. I definitely was. I'm not a rom-com guy. The show was definitely the most fun that I've had watching an anime in like a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it can touch the hearts of such hopeless goons such as us,
Exactly.
Yeah.
think of what it can do for you.
Yeah.
There is a realm beyond comprehension. It looks like what happens after Griffith activates the Behelit. That's where Ghoulgutts and I live. We live in that floating realm of chaos.
I've lived on the edge of that realm
God.
for so long based on all the
But-
garbage we watched.
But Kaguya, it warmed our cold, frigid souls.
Literally, it was beautiful.
Wow.
And that's an endorsement, baby.
Hell yeah. So I believe, Kat, you alluded to
Uh-huh.
a
Is
new
it time?
segment.
Oh, yes.
Because we love new segments. We've debuted 2 new segments today, then.
Yeah.
No, Lee, don't put that in your mouth.
Yeah.
And this one.
And now it's time for well, James, do you want to explain sort of why we're doing this?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
basically, we had our 1 year anniversary episode, which was our top 10
Go watch
favorite games of all time. And people seem to like it. People seem to like hearing our opinions about fucking stupid video games and shit like that for 3 fucking goddamn hours, or 3.5 goddamn hours anyway. And our friend Gino Talks on Twitch, who's a former coworker of mine from Insomniac, he said, hey, you guys should, when you have guests on, you should ask them what their favorite games are. And well, Ghoulgutts here happens to be the first guest we've had on in months and months and months, and also since that fucking episode, so yeah.
Kindly.
What are your top 3 favorite games of all time, Mr. Ghoulgutts?
All right.
And one at a
Hell
time
yeah.
so we can properly absorb them and talk about them.
Yeah. And you gotta go from 3 to 1.
From 3 to 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I definitely took some time to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really have to think too much, but all right. Let's just get into it. Before I get to number 3, I'm gonna shout out an honorable mention, and that goes to Bloodborne.
Nice.
I completely adore the Soulsborne series, and Bloodborne is definitely on top for me. Partially because of how fast paced it was, and how they dropped the shield mechanic for the dodge button. I love all that. But the setting, the story, that's what really does it for me. I'm a big fan of the Lovecraftian thing there. I really enjoy the Lovecraft theme to it, and that was a game that I spent a lot of time playing and replaying. There were many sits where I would just literally walk around and just move the camera around and just take it all in again and again. I just love looking at that game. I love the way the game sounds. It's just it's great. So yeah, that's my honorable mention.
Tonight, Ghoulgutts joins the hunt.
Indeed. All right, and yeah, my number 3, third favorite game of all time. I am gonna cheat a little, and it's gonna go to a series. But I think if you guys know the series, it'll make sense. The Legacy of Kain.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's a beautiful, deep, dark ass story. It's one of the first instances of world building really sucking me in. Like the world that the story takes place in, Nosgoth is like. It just like still lives in my head, you know. It's like full of mystery and intrigue and some more of that eldritch horror shit that I just adore. It just always gets me. One of my favorite parts about this series is the character. It's centered around Kain. Kain, I feel like, was the first time that I really understood that a protagonist doesn't have to be the good guy. He doesn't even have to have redeeming qualities. Not saying that Kain does not. However, yeah, like this series is the first time that I really loved an anti-hero, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's also my favorite type of villain. Like I love a villain that, I love an antagonist who doesn't need you to know that he's not a bad guy. Like Kain throughout this whole series is doing like terrible things. Like the consequences of his actions affect reality itself, like all of the other realms, whatever. It goes real deep, and he just does everything he does with this personal grace and like swagger that is just like it's just like too good. And yeah, like that series has been one of my most replayed games of all time. I don't know that I have anything bad to say about it. The soundtrack for like the whole series has just like always been in my head, and I'm a sucker for a good soundtrack. I don't know. I think that's all that I'll say about it. But of course, I real fast have to bring up the like Shakespearean level of like writing, the way that narration happens and like dialogue happens. It's all just like amazing. It's like top drawer, man. For me to have played this series when I was so young, I feel like honestly the Kain series is a part of why I'm such a tryhard in terms of like writing, you know. I've like learned a lot from it, and it's
Amy
definitely. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Wasn't Amy Hennig the main writer for it?
She was the main writer from Soul Reaver, Soul Reaver, Soul Reaver 2, and Defiance. Because
great
She's a
writer.
killer, dude.
The first game was actually done by Silicon Knights, who did Eternal Darkness, and it was kind of like the brainchild of Dennis Dyack. But there was basically Crystal Dynamics kind of like helped out with the development, and there was some weird legal shenanigans with the franchise. So even though the franchise was created by Silicon Knights, the rights basically went over to Crystal D and Eidos. Amy Hennig and Crystal D took over, and Amy did Soul Reaver and Soul Reaver 2, and then Eidos had another team come in and do Blood Omen 2 because they wanted more Kain, and it kind of shows because it doesn't have the same care of that the games that Amy wrote, or even the first Blood Omen game. And then Amy came back for Defiance, and then shortly after Defiance shipped, she basically was like, all right, later, Crystal, and then she went over to Naughty Dog and made Uncharted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's got a track record.
I'll
Yeah.
absolutely
good.
double down on that writing quality because my
Oh,
first
dude.
exposure to the series was Soul Reaver, and I immediately fell in love with the character design of Raziel.
Oh my god,
And
yeah.
I remember I've since developed a big affection for the trope of protagonist in one game or installment, villain in the next. So when Mission Impossible did that, I thought it was fucking brilliant. There's many other instances of it. But I remember a particular cutscene, and I might be butchering the paraphrasing because it's been years, but it's an encounter between Raziel and Kain, and Raziel calls him out on evil, his evil actions, and Kain's retorting with what good and evil are, and he says, you see things in such binary black and white, but suppose I were to toss a coin and it were to land on its side.
Ooh, yeah.
Where would your conviction stand then? I'm like, oh,
it's so damn
it's
good.
so
Yeah,
There's a lot of there's a lot of fantastic writing and fantastic dialogue that's backed up by just amazing voice performances by Simon Templeman, Tony Jay, Michael Bell, and just strong fucking direction.
World building.
The world building's so good.
One of the things too that made Soul Reaver's voice acting from Soul Reaver on so fucking good was the fact that there's behind the scenes footage of it. Instead of just having the voice actors record their lines separately in a booth, Amy had the actual actors in the room together, so they could act off of each other, and that didn't really happen in video games at the time.
No,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And it really elevated the performance because Michael Bell can act off of Tony Jay, and it just it's so good.
And Tony Jay is so good.
He's so fucking good.
Dude.
Raziel. His voice is so fucking bassy. I love it.
I know. Oh man!
All right, what's your number two, baby?
Judge Frollo can be
number
anything
2.
he fucking wants.
Yes, true.
Number two, I will admit, definitely comes with a great deal of nostalgia. I'll get into it. This is a game that I actually was able to watch James stream recently. This is Parasite Eve.
Oh, I thought that was going to be your number one. Interesting.
Parasite Eve was probably one of the first video games that I bought with my own money.
Nice.
It's a game that I skipped school to play. I just adored this game on a lot of layers. First of all, this was the first time that I had played anything that came from Japan, especially an RPG that had a real world setting, and that was already it was kind of blowing me away from the very beginning. The setting, the story, it all lends itself to what could be a current blockbuster action horror movie, that vibe is always just been one of my favorites, and I won't say that this game is perfect, and because I care about how a story is written and how dialogue plays out, I cannot say that Parasite Eve is a perfect game, especially because when you're dealing with the villain of this story is, to sum it up pretty quickly, the conscious will of primordial cells, it's life in the petri dish with its own intent, you know? Like the scale of it is really huge. It opens up your mind to some wonder, you know? But given that type of like really cool story for a villain, that same villain has like silly quips that she says throughout the game that like it's just very silly. So yeah, there is a part of this game that I admit is like very cheesy, but I just adored the story. I like loved. I like loved like playing as a like young hot cop with like cool like psychic powers. It was just like too fun for me as a kid, and I've like replayed this game quite a lot as well. And when I was growing up, I think I've maybe brought this up to you once or twice, James. But like Parasite Eve, I feel like this would be like a great story told in like a novel or a book. You know, I've like played the game a bunch of times, and I'm always like thinking about how scenes would go down on a page instead of like with the controller. And I just think that the story has like a great deal of potential. You know.
Well, that's one of the things that's unique about it too, is the fact that it's actually based off of an actual novel.
A novel, yeah.
And it's the game functions as a unofficial sequel to
Exactly.
the original novel, kind of like how the Witcher games function as a unofficial series.
Unofficial
sequel to the Witcher series of novels, and it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Although I am a little disappointed, Mike. You haven't talked about the best part about Parasite Eve, which is that fucking banger soundtrack.
Oh, you know, I was gonna get to it. Yoko Shimomura like killed this soundtrack. I feel like it's like some of her best work, even though she like went on to do Kingdom Hearts, and everyone loves the soundtrack of those games. But
fuck yeah, I do.
Dude, Parasite Eve's soundtrack just it just slaps. There's nothing that you can do to convince me that it doesn't slap. It's seriously a huge part of why I picked up playing bass, because like the bass lines in this game are just like so groovy. Like and yeah, like the soundtrack is definitely a huge part of the nostalgia factor for me. I've been like thinking about the soundtrack of the game pretty much as long as I've like been like alive. Like I played it young, and I've never stopped thinking about the game or the music. And yeah, and I guess there's one other thing that I should mention here. Parasite Eve was also a part of my like sexual awakening that made me realize that I was like, it's definitely a game that made me realize that I was a weirdo. The villain of the game like goes through all of these crazy, gross transformations, and each time she gets a little more hot, and it made me feel really weird.
Ghoulgutts is nodding, going, I can work with this.
Dude,
welcome to the monster fuckers.
Mike's just like,
dude,
I can change her.
I'm sure that I could have changed her, guys. It could have been me. I could have saved the world, guys.
I love that went the other direction. I was thinking like, oh yeah, he's gonna talk about Aya being fucking hot. Oh no!
Ooh, it's about you. Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm a creep. It's okay.
Nah, that's why we love you.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
You understand.
Yeah, so the villain in this game was my first monster girl crush.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So yeah, that wraps up the number 2, and on to the number 1.
Yeah.
I'll just skip the like embarrassing parts about it, but my number 1 favorite game of all time is a Final Fantasy game, and
That's fine.
Oh.
it's fine. I know, but
Unless you say
wanna-
13, I'm not gonna care.
I want to
Oh
try
my
and think
God.
of which one it is.
I would
wanna
love
take
for
a
you to guess. Yeah, go ahead.
Fuck. Okay, I'm between 2, and I'm gonna say it's 6.
I'm gonna say 7 because I don't know anything about Final Fantasy, and I'm just throwing a number out.
I'm gonna say Tactics.
My boy James knows. My favorite game of all
what?
time is Final Fantasy Tactics.
Goddamn right.
They have names that
love
aren't
it, yeah.
numbers.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, like one. This is
God
like
damn
the game in the series that I feel like does not get enough love. This game had, from the jump, like the most mature storyline. It would like not like several of the games in the series you could say deal with themes that are not for kids, but Tactics is from the very beginning a grounded war story that deals with like some pretty damn messed up truths that come from war, from like starvation to like assault. It's by far, yeah, the most grounded of the series when it comes to storytelling. It's also in line with like the kind of fiction and horror that I love. It's a war story that turns into a cosmic horror story pretty seamlessly and like very effectively, for sure. There's a whole subplot of a very loosely explained other world that sounds very much like something that Lovecraft himself would may have done. The game again, like the story and themes are just a very very serious, very like chef's kiss. The soundtrack of this game is incredibly special to me, and not just because there are some like straight up like bangers in it, but because I feel like it's very rare that the soundtrack of a story serves the story and the plot as much as, say, like the words spoken between characters. It was just done like extremely well. Tactics is also I think the first strategy game or tactics based RPG that I've ever played, and since then that's probably still been my favorite genre of game. That's my favorite type of game, and it all like started like with this series.
Damn.
Tactics for sure did a lot for me as a writer. It did a lot for me just as a consumer of like fiction. I like love it on many levels, and Tactics is also to me one of the rare instances of the like stereotype like Japanese fiction tag who like starts the game as like a bright-eyed pure boy, like I want to be a good knight, you know. And throughout this story you see this young man become a man in the middle of this incredibly dark story. And like not only does he retain his not purity, but he retains the good parts of himself and becomes like what like any fantasy writer would call like the white knight like character, you know. But he's also like so much more flavorful than the white knight trope would lead you to I believe. He's a very compelling and very like steadfast pro tag, and I just loved him. And this is also another game where the anti-hero of the game, who is the pro tag's counterpart. This is another character like Kane, who does what he does without you needing to know his intent. And even though he is a good guy, it doesn't really matter because he's still doing things to get to what he wants that like make him a piece of shit. And like this like story very much is for a fan of like Berserk. And as many times as I've replayed Tactics, the parallels between it and Berserk become more and more clear to me. And then these are two of my most loved pieces of fiction. So I feel like that's a pretty solid rundown of why I adore those three games.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Hell
great choice.
Yeah, this
That's
is
one that's not
great
talked
list.
about often enough.
Tactics is great, man. It's great.
It is my favorite Final Fantasy, like objectively.
Oh, no way.
Although,
That's cool.
like I usually, I think I mentioned it in my top when we did the top 10. It's like if I had to pick one of the franchise, even though I like Tactics more, I would pick 8 because that was what got me into Final Fantasy and got me into JRPGs. So it's like the nostalgia value is so high that it's like it would probably surpass Tactics, but Tactics is just such a fucking goddamn banger.
I just loved that game, man.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I would pick the book where Titus kicked the bomb and blew up.
and ruined Ten's beautiful ending.
God.
Oh god.
Yeah, no, Tactics, great choice, and that is a very solid triumvirate you've got there.
Yeah.
That is a powerful
appreciate
triumvirate.
You. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. Well, this was a blast, guys. Thank you again for inviting me to sit and chat with y'all about, again, some things that I actually enjoyed.
Yeah.
Of course.
Now, don't get used to it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're right back on the schlock train. Well,
okay, I'll go watch Axel again.
No. I need you to. We gotta have
it's time for your 4:00 Axum.
Yeah.
Yes, dear.
Look, Ghoulgutts. You committed a sin, and you told me that you didn't watch the Cowboy Bebop live action. So, I guess you and we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna drag you to hell with me.
I'll do it for you, Captain. I'll do it for you.
Oh my god. All right.
Just sail the ship right into the Eye of Hades.
We should do our wrap up of what everybody's been up to.
Mine's quick. It's just I've been streaming a lot of horror games because Back to Ghoul.
Hell yeah, Back to Ghoul.
Oh my god, wait. Saber, what is Back to Ghoul?
It's my annual celebration of spooky season, because I stole this line from Shudder as they were promoting 61 Days of Halloween a couple years ago. And they said, because 31 days is not enough. And I was like, you know what? I agree with that sentiment. What if I took that and applied it to streaming horror games? And yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just I stream horror games in celebration of Halloween, and I start streaming way too early. I started streaming this year at the end of July, and it's been kind of nonsense in terms of just how many horror games that I've managed to get through and how many fucking horror games I still have left to get through. But it's been a blast. A lot of replays, a lot of handful of new things. Surprisingly, Mad Father wasn't as remotely terrible as we were expecting, which has been kind of the highlight. Just the fact that it didn't make me feel like I needed a bath like Misao did. And it gave birth to one of my
Dog
favorite
Hitler.
yeah one of my favorite more recent jokes is Dog Hitler, which is, I'm not gonna give context for. Like, again, just fucking watch the goddamn VOD. And
the newest insidious member of the Legion of Goon.
Yeah, and it's I have been told many times, actually, Lee and Kat, over the last month or so, that our Mad Father stream was probably the best stream somebody has watched in a while.
Yes!
Wow, that's awesome.
We were on our game.
They said it was
sweet.
so many people have said it was just so fucking entertaining and so goddamn silly and just ridiculous, and just like one person apparently even came in, Emu was telling me, that they were like, wow, this game has really weird voice acting, and then they realized, oh, it's not the game, it's us. And it's just like stuff like that, and it was just a complete and utter chaos fest. Another streamer said, yeah, I stayed up until like fucking 4:00 in the morning my time to watch you guys finish that game because I was having so much goddamn fun.
Oh,
and it's like, this is
so sweet.
This is wholesome, and it kind of makes me happy that I do what
That's why we
doing.
do this.
I love our community.
Dude,
It's wonderful. I'm happy.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, that's basically all I've been fucking doing.
Yeah. I watched Nope twice. And I'm probably gonna rent it again and watch it a couple more times.
Oh yeah, I watched Nope with Kat. I give it a thumbs
evil,
up.
Goofy face, and I'll fucking do it again
And I'll
too.
fucking do it again too. It's really good, and I wanna podcast about it, so that's all I'm gonna say about it. Additionally, I have also been playing through and platinuming a bunch of games that I just like. I was originally gonna do them on stream, and then I kind of just got a little bit like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do them for me. I platinumed Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments and Sherlock Holmes Devil's Daughter.
Yeah.
And actually, I remember Devil's Daughter was one that was on my like best of all time list. I actually think, looking back now, having like replayed it recently, I would probably have supplanted it with Chapter 1. Because playing it again after playing Chapter 1, I was like, oh, they improved so much up to Chapter 1 that I'm just like, this kind of pales in comparison now. And so, yeah, I just kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna be a nerd and kind of like retroactive. At some point, if we ever do a top 10 again, that would probably be changed. And who knows, maybe the Awakened remake will replace that. And then also, I am currently in the middle of platinuming a game that James and I think are going to play on Back to Ghoul, which is Murdered Soul Suspect. It's a really easy plat. So, but I played it on PC originally, so I've never platinumed it. So I'm just working my way through the plat right now. So James, if you want to platinum it, I'll have the guide ready and waiting to go.
He sounds thrilled.
He's very clearly he's ecstatic.
Nice.
Future editing James here. I typed BRB into Discord to let them know that I was stepping away from the computer, mostly to deal with JoJo. And I typed it in the wrong channel, so nobody saw it, so hence my awkward silence at the idea of platinuming Murdered Soul Suspect. Yeah, I would like to platinum it. Probably. Maybe. If there's time. We'll see.
Lee, what are you up to?
Yeah.
My week. Let's see. I haven't had much of a gaming week. I've been consuming other media quite a bit. I am getting some culture. I'm going back and rereading one of my favorite classic novels, The Picture of Dorian Gray.
Oh, sick!
Ooh,
And
that's good.
I haven't flipped through it in about 15 years or so.
Oh yeah.
Which
Nice.
is a delicious experiment by an author exploring the fact that he thinks he might be bisexual and he's not very comfortable with the idea. Because boy, does he describe how pretty this young man is.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Great length.
Oscar Wilde has feelings about this comely blonde gentleman. It's fucking great. I can't praise it enough. It is a classic for a reason.
Yeah.
One of the classic characters to me of literature. I hold Dorian Gray in like that high pantheon of characters.
For sure.
Other than that, in my real working life, outside of the Goon sphere, I am a detox technician and a substance abuse counselor. And so I have been digesting season after season of Dr. Drew Pinsky's Celebrity Rehab.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a delicious train wreck.
Oh yeah.
It's a little more animated than the actual world of detox, but
I can imagine.
But we do get some fun things happening every now and then. But yeah, I've been watching a shitload of that. That's been great. And last thing, I've been enjoying some very, very good releases in the music world.
What are you listening to?
I'm being flooded with so much good shit I'm listening to. Just to name a few, a big one right now is a new band that just came out called The Halo Effect. They are a super group of all musicians who are from a niche genre of melodic metal called the Gothenburg scene.
Hey, man.
And they're a super group in not just the traditional sense of they're all members of other successful bands. They are all members from different eras of the same band, In Flames.
Oh, In Flames. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Dude.
It's hilarious. And they just put out their first record. It is an absolute banger.
What is it called?
It is called, I don't think it's just called Halo Effect. It's got Days of the Lost.
Okay, I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, that is a fucking savage record. And then other than that, I've been getting into a new genre of music quite a bit. I've been floating on the surface of it for a while, and just in the past few months, I've super committed to it, and I'm slapping the fuck out of it recently. I'm a synthwave guy now.
Oh, dude.
Yay! You came to the right side.
Getting huge into synthwave, and my favorite band right now is Dance with the Dead. And I've been slapping their new record, Driven to Madness.
That's what's up. Cool.
Driven to Madness is insane, and I don't want to spoil it. You know what? It's not part of my list, so it's fine. But like on the last end of year wrap up, not part of my top 10. I just threw in a stinger for what I thought like the best song of the year was, and it's gonna be fucking hard to beat this one. It is a purely instrumental, technical prog piece, Playing God by Polyphia.
Dude, they're so incredibly talented.
Fuck these people, dude.
Oh, dude. Oh my god.
Fuck all four of these people. They are like making musicians quit because of how good they are.
Literally, they're so crazy.
It's a 4-piece band, 2 guitar players, a bass, and a drummer, and they are all just the highest level of technical skill. And it's just them stunting on you for like 4 minutes. The song in particular I'm talking about, Playing God, is what I can only describe as progressive flamenco rock.
Mm-hmm.
And it's absolutely astounding. So it's been a big few weeks rather of music and celebrity drama and 80s synthwave. So it's been a good fucking time.
Wow, dude.
And pretty blonde young men with pictures of themselves.
Yeah,
That's how we do it.
That's the only way I roll.
Right.
What about you, Ghoulgutts?
As for me, I've only recently gone back to work. I had 2 weeks off because I had COVID, and during that
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh,
Are you
it's
feeling
all right.
better?
Thanks. I'm feeling just fine now.
Okay.
But during those 2 weeks I had off, I did a little bit of streaming, and I did a lot of being in Saber's streams in his chat there.
Yeah.
Chilling. But yeah, so
I apologize for my degeneracy.
Gaming. Oh, you're a Prince Saber. Relax. But yeah, I've been I've been playing a couple of games myself. I've been playing this game that Lee told me about.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me about it, Lee.
Oh no! Please have the honor. I'm so happy you're playing this.
The other side, it's
Oh yeah.
it's a
Yeah. Lee talked.
yeah.
Lee talked about it before on the podcast.
Oh, all right, great.
At one point. But I mean, go ahead and give us an elevator pitch again. It's been a while. I think that was like season 1.
Yeah. It's a tactics RPG, which, as I said, is my favorite type of game. It's got a very subtle but very real spooky like eldritch theme to it. The opposition in the game is a bunch of floaty pale plague doctors. The game looks great. All of the art is top notch. The soundtrack is some doom and prog metal, which is really fun for me. It's just a neat old game. It's very hard, which has been very fun for me. I love a challenge, especially in RPGs. Let's see. I've been playing that. I've also been just going through some old PS1 horror games. Aside from that, I am doing my best to find some time to put some work into this horror short series that I'm trying to write, and once it's done, I'm hoping to submit it to you guys for a peer review. See how y'all feel about it, and maybe we could try to do something with it in the future. Because I don't want to air out any of our plans here, so I'll be vague. But we've had some ideas that we've been very loosely trying to move, trying to push up a hill, and I'm really wanting to get back into that mode. So I'm trying to Yeah, so
I blame Renzi for the hill
myself. However we get to it, however we do it is right. But in the near future, you guys expect to read something written by your boy.
Yes, absolutely.
I am pumped.
Awesome. Thank you. Cool. And that's about it for me for what I'm doing, for what I've got going on. It was again a pleasure to sit down and chat with you guys. Thank you again.
Of course.
Absolutely. You're the unofficial fourth goon, man. You're
absolutely.
in there.
I think you've been on more. I think you've guested more than anyone else.
100%. Yeah, no,
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he's been our only repeat guest at this point.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had plans for.
Be a lesson to the rest of you.
Oh no,
we've had plans for other guests. We've had plans, but also we've had so many plans to get Mike back on, and then just shit falls through, or everybody's busy, and
it's got a lot going on.
It happens, and it's great. I mean, granted, I want to get Banana Boat on to suffer through something terrible with us again too.
Oh yeah, no, she's 100% game. We gotta.
Yeah,
Nice.
it'll be
Yeah,
great.
we got plans for people. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah, and I gotta find some more garbage to force Ghoulgutts to watch since I was too nice to you. Can't happen again.
I have one for you guys. Before we leave, there is a Spanish slasher movie that I've heard a lot about, and I would really like to watch for the first time with you guys. So maybe after this, we'll see if we can find a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Hear that, folks? That's planting seeds for a sequel.
Yes.
Indeed.
We'll pay that off later.
Yes.
All
All right. I'm gonna start playing us off.
Please do.
Everybody's cool.
Yep.
I was Cat, aka the Attack Cat. Recently we restreamed Sinking City on Twitch. That was super fun.
Nice.
I will probably end up going back and streaming more stuff. I actually have some plans to do. Well, I'm definitely going to be streaming The Awakened when it drops. So be on the lookout for that in the next couple months. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah. And once again, on this side over here, it's been your boy Lee Alder, the Valley Jester. You can catch me not streaming over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Valley Jester. I've not been streaming lately. I've been too fucking busy.
Yeah.
And yeah, don't expect anything from me soon. Your boy is up to his neck in things to do in the good way. So don't weep for me. But I'm making them plays. I'm making them plays.
I'm still keeping that sub though. Fuck you.
That's
I want that extra Yuka Savage emote.
One's not enough. You gotta have both.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Ghoulgutts, sign yourself out.
All right, as for me, it's been Mike again. I also go by Ghoulgutts on Twitch. However, I likely am not doing much streaming, and I may not be doing much streaming for a little while. But when I do, it'll be late at night when I have time. So who cares? Anyway, love you guys. That's it for me.
All right.
Hell yeah.
And then,
yeah, I mean, mostly you can catch us in Saber's chat, heckling him.
Definitely, yeah.
Heckling the shit out of him.
This is true. I get nothing but heckled. And on that note, it's James, aka Saber0307. Unlike everybody else here, I do stream pretty frequently on Twitch. And I'm, arguably allegedly kind of funny or whatever. Mostly we're doing horror games for the next few months or whatever. It's gonna be allegedly spooky, and I'm gonna pretend to be afraid of stuff and be like, "Oh no, I'm so scared. Oh please hold my hand," because I'm very, very, very desensitized to horror. But yeah, it's fun. So twitch.tv/Saber07, Saber0307, and if you want to see spooky shit. And on that note, y'all take care of yourself, stay safe, be excellent to each other, and sugar daddy in his house.
All
I blame Renzi.
Always blame Renzi.
Always blame Renzi. That's why there's the blame command.